You are now listening to the Old Head, New Head podcast with your hosts, Eric Iberg and Ethan Schaefer.
Goddamn kids.
Shut up, old man!
Get ready, Colt 45. I think I angled my microphone correct. See how it's angled like this? I didn't get the stand.
I think it's better. It's better. Do I sound different? I have a new microphone.
What?
Jason sent me the link to the one he was using, so I'm trying this one out, seeing how it sounds.
It did sound super professional.
Okay, sick. This one was like $40, so maybe we can get it to you. Thanks to the GoFundMe. Shout out to everyone that's still donating to that. We just released the Met episode, so we got a few more donations coming, and I think we're on the border. We're right on the border of hitting hitting 2K.
Man, what? So we are 1/15th away, 1/20th, 2000 out of 50.
I think you had me set it at 50K.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I think we're 125th.
Sick. Big thanks to everyone who has supported.
Of course.
Big thanks to everyone who listens. Even your time commitment is probably worth more than your financial giving.
Yeah, I would say so. People that listen to the full 5 hours of the Met episode, shout out to them. I did not post it on New Schoolers. I'm thinking whether or not to even promote the show on New Schoolers. Maybe
I don't know. I was thinking about it too. I was like, I didn't know my login. And then I was just like, fuck it. You know, like you'd think they would love skiing so much or hate him so much that they would go and find it or remember that we put it out.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I guess that's on us for lack of marketing then if we don't do it.
I don't know. I might put it up there, but it's just going to be a bunch of angry people. Whatever. We got bigger fish to fry than that. Check out what I got. I'm on the West Coast right now. We're back with the Rainiers. You got the Colt 45. Shout out to my folks at Rainier.
And I want to big up Blazy Susan. You know, I'm not smoking during the show. I take a halftime, but they've been taking care of me all pre-show. And big up Ross Jacob at Dark Horse Farms here in Minnesota for supplying me with my herbs. So give thanks, man, for all these episodes. They help me get it through.
Yep, that's what's up. So we got the links in the bio. I know they're working.
Go check out B&E Store, BANDE.store. That's all Phil and Henrik stuff. And then I should have the freeskiingmuseum.com up by now. I'm a little late, but I just got my down days covers yesterday. So hopefully I get my free skier covers here and get my covers updated, get some more event stuff updated. And hopefully that's all up by you guys by now.
Sick. All right. Who we got today?
Today is a pretty dope one. Today we have a legend, we have an icon, we have some foundation in our sport, Mr. Anthony Boronowski. So I'm pretty stoked. I haven't had a good conversation with him for well over a decade or so. And he's someone that was with Armada at the beginning. He's someone that was the leader in urban skiing, the gnarliest shit, maybe 2001 ski movie, a poor boys movie and propaganda. First guy to head out to Buffalo, kind of did what Forum Crew did, but killed it on skis. Moved into the back country, created his own thing. He just ill as fuck. What do you know about him? Because he hasn't been in skiing for a while, so I'm curious what someone younger even thinks about him.
I'll say this: prior to going through all the Freeze archives, Anthony and Boyd, and still Boyd now, are the two I know the least about from the Armada founders. And you corrected me at the end of the last episode that Anthony was not one of the founders. So could you clarify that for the intro of this episode?
Yeah, I think we'll talk about it because it's pretty fun. So Anthony, when Armada started, was already a pro on K2 in Oakley from 2001 to 2003. But when, I think it was JP was pretty adamant and Julian were yo, he's got to be on the team. I was kind of looking at it because I was a team manager the first year and kind of helped build what the team was supposed to be. And so I was yo, let's put him on as an AM member. And then we'll get more into this because I think it's a fun story. But the whole concept was we had these legends, icons that were the original five. And then we created an AM team And then it was, so people would be like, yo, why the fuck is he an AM? Right?
Yeah.
It didn't make sense. There's
Yeah.
no such thing really as an amateur at this time. But the whole idea was to set the long-term plan to have a pro, an AM, and a flow team, and then build a certain scale. So Anthony knew he was going to have like a breakthrough segment or have a big winning to be welcome to the pro team. And then after I left after year one, then I think he just quietly entered a pro team and had a 2-page spread ad the next year, and there he was.
Yeah. All right, we'll get to the bottom of that. Who else wasn't TJ Schiller AM team after that?
TJ and Greta were the next AM team members, and then they lasted like I think a year or two because I mean they both fucking won the US Open their first year on the team.
Yeah.
They both just dominated and won like X Games their second year. But I don't know if they ever had the like welcome to the pro team or a reason. Like Greta did get a pro model, but TJ didn't. So there was no real formula of why. Like it was one major event, but it like skateboarding I always thought was so dope.
Yeah.
Like dude, if you make the pro team, it's like you show up, like the whole team's there. They like give you your deck with your name on it. Like I wanted to create that culture a lot, like as far as the Armada team when it started.
Yeah. I know that Jason at Surface is doing that. Like when Willie went pro, they had a little thing for him. They had a nice ad and browser and a nice video. But I'm stoked for this. These are like these old head episodes are like the deep cuts. Like Julian and Anthony. They don't have the same name recognition as like the Tanners of the world to the casual listener, but to the people that really know the sport.
Oh, dude, they played such a big role. Like,
yeah, they played such a big role.
Funny tangent. Like, so this Australian guy sent me a text message in the middle of the night last night, and it was the results from the 1997 Junior World Mogul Championships. And third place was Julian, and fourth place was Evan Rapps. And he's like, "Yo, this is so ill." And it's just like it's so fun because these people have such. Evan and Julian, right? We're talking moguls in 97.
Yeah.
But Evan was the dopest in the world in 2000. Like he was sponsored by Mountain Dew. Fucking like, I think like Vans or Spider, like Spy. Like he was so big. Rosnell, biggest guy. Fucking podiumed every event. Julian had a pro model in 2000. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, the old crew is fun because they all had to do weird shit. Even Nico, man. Look at fucking Nico's.
Nico was a great episode. I liked hearing about him. All right, let's send Anthony the link. You sending him an email or are you sending him?
Yeah, I sent you his email and a text. Okay. You need that still again?
Yeah, if you could resend that, we'll get Anthony in here. Our first emo skier. Actually, well, I think Emmett Davis is technically our first true.
He could be. But Anthony's fun. We're going to talk because he's like borderline. Like Hesh phase was just trending out.
Yeah.
In snowboarding. So like, but then so he was like the end of Hesh, beginning of emo, and then he grew his hair out and got some glasses. That I guess we need to find out if he has a prescription or if they're just clear lensed. I don't know.
So you got the Down Days magazine covers.
Yeah, now just waiting on the free skier and the ski time.
Do you get what's the Japanese one?
There's a couple. There's Generation X was the dopest one.
Do you have those?
I think I gave a couple away. Otherwise, I had them, and then the lady disappeared. Then there's Boronowski. Boronowski's still kind of around, but it's a unique identity. Then there was Freeskiing Mag. That was around from like 2010 to fucking 2014 or 15. But yeah, there's so much shit, dude. Like there's even a magazine out of Andorra from 2000 to 2002. And like I had my biggest story ever in it. And it was like all in Spanish or Cantalone or something.
Yeah.
So when I go to Andorra and like I'll talk to the people that live there, I'm like, did you guys know you had a ski magazine in 2000? And they're like, I didn't have a clue. I'm like, can you read my article? AI, I guess, can read it now.
Yeah. Dang. Any updates on Phil in Japan this season?
For 9 nights or just to go or what?
I mean, I know you were talking about getting him out there doing a demo tour.
We talk schedule daily. So, I mean, like right now we learned that there's 9 nights is moving to Japan the beginning of April.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's released yet information at this time.
Nico told us.
Okay. So yeah, I hit him up after. And so that's kind of on the radar right now for Phil. But then, we'll see. It's still kind of early when we look at his calendar daily.
Yeah. Dang, dude. The life of a super pro.
It's pretty fun, like just doing the calendars every day, like him and Henrik, and just going over like opportunities and then what fits and then what makes sense for everyone, what's fun.
Yeah. And he's editing the Armada movie, which at this point in the season, the Armada movie is going to be old news. But
no, he edited the first trailer that came out last January, and then I believe he is editing his own segment and Kim Boberg's in the Armada movie, and then he's doing some like artistic stuff that's reoccurring through characters and movies. But there's like 3 or 4 editors, like E. Cook and Sean Logan, and one other homie.
Damn,
I think maybe Brady Perrin's an editor as well.
Yeah, Brady's fire with it. I know. I saw some project recently where he did the sound design. Maybe it was one of the Wells brothers projects. Pretty fire.
The Wells are fucking. They're pumping out shit lately.
Yeah, they are.
A bunch of it.
Yep. All right, I'm excited. It's fall now. We're in fall now.
So you don't really know shit about Tony?
No, I don't know anything. Which is why I was really stoked that we could get this done, because like this is. I did listen to a little bit of his Powell Movement episode. I was like, nah, I just want to like learn this from him.
Okay, so he's been on some podcasts.
Yeah.
Try to listen to other people's podcasts.
You try listening to him?
I like when what's his name? Powell Movement. Like, so on his website, he does detailed of times. I don't know if he does on his YouTube breakdown, but then he says what they talk about at times.
Yeah.
So I super enjoy when I can go to someone who I'm a fan of or a friend of and then see if I can learn something new about them. But it's kind of sometimes hard to listen to a podcast where like, I want to ask him a question off that or.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Anthony, where's he at?
Well, he asked me for a link in Instagram like 7 minutes ago.
He said, awesome, we'll be there in 5 minutes. Sorry for the delay. He sent that 1 minute ago.
All right.
Sweet.
I think he said he was traveling and he had to pull over somewhere.
No way.
We'll see. Who knows? He's a Quebecer.
Is he?
Yeah, he lives like right by Belan almost. Like,
I didn't know he was Canadian.
He's I believe he's a British Columbian originally. I think he's a North Vancouver kid. We're gonna find out.
Okay, yeah. That does kind of ring a bell.
That's totally my guess as a fan that he was a North Vancouver kid because he had Seymour shots.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you're familiar with Mount Seymour.
No, I don't think so.
It's a ski hill right outside of Vancouver in the north, but they have night skiing. So like when you get shots in the park, you see the whole fucking Vancouver lit up night sky. So it looks like urban skiing.
Damn.
So he was in the movies at an early like 2000. And have you seen Parental Advisory?
No.
Oh, fuck, I should have. This is the best. This is other than Guatemalan Persuader. This is the best fucking movie ever. They got pigs snorting coke lines. So this is Anthony's first movie. Like, yeah, it's only on New Schoolers video player. And then it had to be edited because certain people that were in this movie have high positions in life nowadays because their segments were so out of hand. So even those guys are like, we can't give you the movie to put online unless we take these people out. It's like, that's fucked up, man. That was the best movie of my life when I was a kid.
I'm watching it right now. It's Anthony's segment is uploaded separately.
Yeah. So I mean, dude, he had an Eazy-E song. I was like, yo, what? Eazy-E is my favorite rapper as a kid. So I'm watching this like most core movie I've ever seen in the history of skiing. And then like Eazy-E tracks, fucking like, they were gnarly, dude. They had a homie fucking die like doing a road gap that year.
What?
You'd go to the club with them. They'd order 8,000 shots. So if you watch this movie, it's just fucking Max Fish with fucking shots around the whole place. Everyone just doing 50 at a time. Like
they got the rail on fire action in this and his shot.
Dude, they got 6'4" Impala.
Yeah. What crew is this?
So this is called Heavy Hitting Crew. Their fucking logo is they made a gas mask linked to a bong. Nice. So if you'd go and hang out with these guys, you'd have to do the fucking
Gas mask bone. Yeah.
And so it was the craziest shit. Travis Feet and the other guy, Travis something. They're just the two Travises.
Yeah.
First time I went on the glacier in like 99, they were there fucking filming that movie. And all these guys had like parental advisory t-shirts on. I was like, yo, these guys are so ill.
Yeah. This is dope. You could tell Anthony's favorite grab in this is Japan. I think he does it every jump.
You're watching his first segment right now ever.
That's so dope. Yeah, I'm really excited to talk to him. Damn, dude. He's going huge.
Yeah. So he has a definite interesting trajectory and entry level into the sport as far as wherever he came from and how he experienced it the first time.
Yeah.
That wasn't like my first experiences.
Damn, this is dope. Oh my God, this is uploaded in 2000. These are so old that new schoolers can't even support it anymore because Adobe Flash Player isn't supported on the website anymore.
Ah.
That's where the museum's going to come in handy.
I think they're getting a new website this month, from what I learned. So in September. So I think by the time this show comes out, they will have their new website up.
Damn. I hope so.
I think that was their plan all summer, from talking with these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting. They said big changes are coming. I'm waiting for those big changes.
We'll see. It's a tough call, man. Like, your whole life was having people interact, right? And it's like they were like the whole fucking ecosystem was fans providing content. So it's exactly what MySpace, Facebook, Instagram became. It's simplified levels to the masses.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, it's really hard. Like, how can you bring people to communicate what they love in one spot when I can go on Instagram and scroll and see all the cool shit I want to see rather than go learn about it through a chat board?
Yeah, well, then Instagram, you could message people, you could follow people. It's all the same thing that new schoolers used to be. New schoolers used to add someone as a friend. You could message them, ask who's moving out to where.
Hell yeah. I need a
Instagram just took
roommate.
the place of that. Yeah, I need a roommate. Fucking Chug meeting girlfriends on there. Yeah. What was the, I don't know if we have enough time to talk about this before Anthony gets on, but what was the role that MySpace played in all this?
In skiing? Mm-hmm. MySpace was just ill. So I think like I only used it during Idea. So I remember getting on in like 2006 and 7, and then like we could create a page for the movie. Like I had a page you'd pin your favorite friends, right? Yeah. So imagine you had thousands of friends and you're like, these are my best friends. So you'd have like 8 of these that you could pick up to, but you could make a music player. So if you had your favorite artist could upload songs to a music player. Then what you could do is you could pick your favorite songs from your favorite artist's music players, and then you could create your own player on your page. So it was like, that's how you personalized it. Yeah. So it's kind of like, I don't know, that's how you connected with everyone. You could like musical artists, like at this time, this was the first time I ever could reach out to any music artist in the world because every dancehall artist was on it and every reggae artist was on it. I was like, no fucking way. This is just like talking to your friend. You'd send them a message, they'd reply to you, like be like, can we work? Yeah.
Damn. So they've been doing the whole social media thing for a minute now.
Who's that?
Just the internet. Like you were doing that in what, 2002?
What, Facebook or MySpace?
Yeah.
That was like, I don't know. I think it got big in like 2006.
Oh, 6. Okay.
Right. And then it was killed by 2009. I think I got the Facebook by 2008-9. Yeah. And I was late on that jump because that's what, like, Facebook was pretty core. It was like for artists that really wanted to do stuff and like create shit. Yeah. Like even if you were a slutty hustler, you had to be a hustler. You couldn't just be slutty and take selfies. Yeah. Right. So if you ever study Tila Tequila, she was like this first person to ever do it. But then she had so many subways where she could make money.
Well, she ended up big on TV, right?
Yeah, but because of what she did on MySpace.
I didn't know that. That's wild.
And so it's all how she curated her content, created this shit, mass fucking put it out, and then made sure it wasn't just for free. She'd send you to her website, pay for subscriptions, and then she'd get subscribers for her content, and then she used it straight as free marketing. You know, like what we all used to be able to do with all these social medias, like go to our websites, swipe up to buy now. Like we can't. It's not as easy as it. It wasn't easy before because not everyone did it. But then once everyone learned about it, they made it impossible for it to work.
Damn, I didn't realize she was such a hustler like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Eric.
How are you?
See you, man.
Good to
I'm
see
good.
you.
How are you? Sorry.
Where are you?
I'm in Charlevoix, like just outside Quebec, close to Mont Saint Anne.
Okay. You on the road, or is this your home?
No. I'm on the road today. I have an athlete for Foehn who's doing. He's here for a race, so I came to film some videos of him and some behind the scenes stuff. So yeah, just sort of like juggling today, but it's good. It's great.
Well,
good to see you,
making time, man. This is Ethan, my co-host.
Yeah, hi, Ethan. Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you, Anthony. I'm stoked for this. I appreciate you giving us the time. It'll be cool to hear some stories.
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's great.
I'll do my little intro, Anthony. So I was on Ethan's show. He has a thing called Two Plank Network, like 2 years ago on his podcast.
Okay.
And Ethan's like, what are you now, Ethan? 26?
27 now.
27. So like 2 years ago, he's 25, right? And I'm like 43. And so we talked skiing for like a couple hours, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't understand what anyone's doing when they're younger or why they're doing it. You know, and that's what was most interesting to me out of our whole ski conversation. So I talked to him after. I was like, let's do a show where we talk to some older guys in the sport, show what they did, because all the guys we're going to talk to that's older created their own lanes. That's why they were successful and being known at the time in skiing, and that's why they're still creating as they're older. And let's learn what their formula was, because obviously they were different enough. That's why you're on the show. And then what in return for my ego or personal reasons to do this show is I get to talk to all these young kids that are under 25 and ask them why they fucking do what they do and what they want to do with what their new opportunities are. And so it's a fun experience for me to learn, and at the same time, maybe give them personal knowledge. And then at the same time, our listeners get to like listen 1 week to some kid that's coming up that doesn't know what they want to do, but then the next week listen to a guy who's 20, 30 years older, and they're like, wow, that's kind of the same guy 20 years ago. So that's why we're doing the show. And I want to thank you for being part of it, because I really think that like when I look back at your career and like from coming on the scene with Heavy Hitting Crew to like Poor Boys, to creating stuff with Armada at the highest level, to being one of the biggest hands-on guys with that company as far as what your vision was and what you wanted to create with them. Like you're just a huge part of our sport, and you're a huge part of the foundation. And I think it's super important that we get it documented, we get it recorded. So when said and done, it's absolutely there and people can know what actually happened.
Thank you. It's very flattering.
You heard it. You're still here today. So we want to make sure we fucking tell a story that's true.
Thanks.
So I usually start things off. I got a question for you though. When's the last time you guys saw each other?
I would say I haven't seen you since the Euro thing. What's the not SIA? What's it called in Europe?
JP's funeral, man?
No, the trade show in Germany.
ISPO.
ISPO. I seen you in ISPO 2012.
You weren't at JP's funeral?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Yeah, then it would be ISPO for sure. Yeah.
So, 13 years ago.
Dang.
Goes fast, doesn't it? Yeah.
That's crazy.
Anyway.
All right. So, Anthony, we start at the beginning.
Yeah.
So, could you give us what year you were born, so we can kind of structure everything around that, and then just where you're from and all that stuff, and we'll just start from the very beginning.
Yeah, sure. I was born in '82. I'm from Vancouver, BC, so I grew up in BC essentially. Skiing was something my family initially got me into, which was like really a blessing. I had like a really lucky hand of cards. Grew up
First
in like the
question,
spot.
you said
Yeah,
Vancouver, but are you a city kid, a suburb kid, or an outer ring at that time?
yeah, exactly. So I was in North Van, which is like really, it's a suburb essentially, 20 minutes from the city, 30 minutes from the city. At that time, the bus infrastructure wasn't that good. So it was quite a challenge to get like downtown. So, everyone wanted to leave North Van and go downtown, like when they finished high school or whatever. Um, but I was just like blessed by like proximity. Like I grew up literally in the mountains, and it was like I was so lucky.
Because that's what I was
And my
thinking. Like
parents,
I'm imagining Vancouver. I didn't get to go to Vancouver area till '99, and so I'm just trying
yeah,
to imagine like if you were in that North Vancouver area in the '80s and '90s. I was just like, man, you're pretty much mountain people. Like I wouldn't call you a Vancouver
yeah,
person.
yeah, yeah, no, and like all like the mountain bike like free ride explosion. I don't know if you guys are familiar with mountain bike at all, but like there was a big moment for that. That all happened like 30 minutes from my house, like just like up a trail, and like it just people were always getting up to stuff and being outside. So yeah, my dad is like a geologist, and my mom's a physiotherapist. So they were like two people who love to be outside and be active and do stuff. And I just grew up like camping and going skiing, and we sort of just did stuff like big multi-day like backpacking trips. And like we one summer we camped for the whole summer, like 2 months straight. We like drove across Canada and just like road tripped forever. So um, yeah, and essentially we were like renting a chalet when I was young. And then at one point, the people who were renting the chalet to us, sort of like randomly throughout the winter, they ended up getting divorced. And so they wanted to sell their chalet. So they offered it to my parents because we were renting it probably like 10 or 8 weekends a winter, and sort of just like skiing really recreationally. And then so my parents bought it from them, and then that was just the thing we did every weekend for the next 10 years
Did you have any
for
brothers or
like our family.
sisters?
Yeah, I have a younger sister.
Okay.
Yeah,
And how
yeah,
much younger is
yeah.
she?
2 years younger.
Okay.
So yeah, it's cool.
So
And
as a North Vancouver kid, like I'm guessing you're close. Well, I just told you, Ethan. What's the name of this hill?
Mount Seymour.
Mount
yeah,
Seymour. Was that your hill growing up? How far, or did you have a
yeah,
different?
No, so there's 3 hills there. There's like Cypress, Grouse, and Seymour. But I went to Seymour most of the time. And I was like a total fiend, right? So I would ski in Whistler on the weekends, ski during the week at Seymour, like as much as I could. So it was just like as much volume. I wanted to be on the hill as much as I could, like after
And you had
school.
night skiing, right? If I remember from
Yeah,
videos.
yeah. Yeah, there was night skiing there. And Seymour at that time was like really heavy snowboard vibe, which was interesting. It was not kind to skiers at the time. Like it's not like today where anything kind of goes. There was a big stigma, and it was sort of like a vibe to be a skier, especially at Seymour at that time. So, but yeah, it was cool. Seymour was great. It was wonderful.
So if you're
But
growing up at Seymour, is it like a babysitter because your parents can drop you off and you recreation together in it? Or do you get involved in like race programs or freestyle
yeah,
programs, anything like this?
yeah, no, when I was like 12 or 13, I must have been 13. My parents put me in a freestyle club, Blackcomb Freestyle Club, and that's how I got into free ride, because I was just doing the freestyle club, sort of normal like mogul skiing situation. And at that time there was no free ride. Like it was like just like heavy bump situation, like Jean-Luc, Chouplasov, Gros Perron, the the Kiwi team used to train like on the same course as us, so we used to see Kiwis all the time. The French guys used to do training camps.
And you guys had World Cups at Whistler in the 90s.
Yeah.
So to put it in perspective,
too,
and this was one of the gnarliest World Cup runs in the world for the steepness.
Yeah.
And this was before they had landing pads. So you got to grow up watching Whistler Blackcomb World Cup mogul events in the 90s. Shit was fucked up. And then you had legends that you were watching.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was like the course. That was the course we skied like every weekend, which is totally ridiculous when I think about it. Like, you have kids, like, why, like, put them on something that's appropriate for their skill level? They'll improve so much faster. But anyway,
so that Ethan, this course was so steep that the kickers didn't have to have super lips, right? Because it had so much drop time.
Yeah.
So when you would watch a guy do like a 360 iron cross or something, because I remember Jim Rand doing this shit in 96. And so he would have to take off, just go forward and then go into it rather than the normal pop. And like there was no other course that had false air off takeoff than the Whistler course. That's how fucking steep it was.
Yeah. Were the Olympics held near Vancouver in your lifetime?
Yeah, in 2010. They held
okay, so much later, so not during your childhood.
Yeah, exactly. It was sort of like, that was like a big change for Whistler and everything around there. But
yeah, I want to note for this, Anthony, because by 1998, 99, Whistler knew they got the Olympics. So the Olympic vibe, my first time, I remember even when I went to Whistler summer 99, everyone was like, Olympics are coming in 2010. So the vibe was there for to become the biggest, right? The infrastructure was being built, the biggest dirt parking lots everywhere to like, so every day, dude, the riders, the skiers, the infrastructure was getting doper.
Building.
I want to put it in perspective because you were 16,
that's very true.
You were 16, man. So if you're like 16 years old watching all this shit and being part of it, it's fucking nuts.
And that World Cup actually was like kind of a big deal for me as a kid, because I was like, as a kid to see a World Cup, it's a big deal. Like you get to see it like live. Like I remember I saw the first quad in the contest go down, and I was like, wow, like that's like really cool. And like
we're not talking flips, we're talking quad twisters.
Yeah. That's old shit. But so I was on the mogul team, and then Shane Zox broke his tibia and fibia like extremely badly, to a point where he got like a rod. Ethan, do you know who Shane Zox is?
Yes, I mean I don't know. I know he's huge in skiing. I don't know all his life story. I'd love to get him on here.
In a nutshell, Shane Zox started High North, which was the first free ski camp on Whistler Glacier back in 98 or 99. He was a huge part of Poor Boys and pretty much an icon and foundation of freestyle in Whistler.
Sick.
Yeah, exactly. So Shane ended up being a coach for like a full year because he couldn't even ski. Like he could ski but not ski, you know what I mean? So he coached me for like a year when I was like 15, and then it just one thing led to another, and Shane became a great friend and a mentor, and it all started because
I'm so curious. So when you were 15, that had to have been 97 or 98?
Yeah, around there.
So but he was killing it, because I remember, so he was in State of Mind and killed it. He was in Degenerates and killed it, and he was in 13. So that's 97, 98, 99. When did he hurt?
Yeah, those are back to back. And maybe it's before. Maybe I was 14.
Okay, because I watched him at the bumps and jumps in '96 in Heavenly Valley, and he was still killing it.
Yeah, no, there was a year there where he's like he coached me every single weekend. It was insane. Like imagine getting Shane to coach you like every day when you were 15. Like, and
who else was on your program? Because Shane was big. And then, like, who are the other big guys? Was Ryan Johnson out there, or who else was big names? Ryan was doing Alberta stuff, so he was like working.
I don't want to screw it up, but he was involved with Alberta somehow. I don't know if it was a provincial team or what, but McDonnell, Mark McDonnell, he was the other guy. So basically, Shane coached me that year, and then McDonnell came, and he was like the head coach. So I was like ultra blessed in terms of like mentors and people to sort of like show me the way of skiing. And at that time too, like the winter of '98 was probably the best winter I've ever experienced in my life. And it just like it snowed so much. And after the winter of '98, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a skier like for my whole life. Like this
So
is
you're
the
15
best
at this
thing in
time.
the whole world.
So you're 15 at this time.
Yeah,
I
around
get it.
there. Yeah.
You have Zox as a
Yeah.
coach. So Zox, you just watch fucking kill it in Degenerates, right? So, and then also, I believe if you saw
It was State of Mind.
well, State of Mind was
It was State
97.
of Mind that really changed it for me. Yeah. So it was State of Mind that really changed it for me. Because someone gave me like the tape for State of Mind, and I was like, okay, that's like crazy. And then I was still like skiing, and then I remember the day still to this day that I watched Degenerates for the first time, and that like just changed my life completely. Like, because
But you
I'm
say
sure the
fuck
same for you.
moguls as a little kid at this time? Because you're so influenced by moguls. You saw World Cups. Everyone was doing
Yeah.
this, that you were dedicated, but not committed because you weren't old enough, maybe. But like, do
Yeah.
you just say fuck
But-
the freestyle?
Not really, because I was good at it. Like I was a better mogul skier than I was like a jumper or a jibber like ever to this day. Like I still believe I would have been a more successful mogul skier. I was way better, but like I just ended up loving free. Like vibe was so much better. And then a couple of things happened in 1 year. So I was like skiing a run. I blew out, and I was like, well, my run's like a throwaway. So I do like a backflip off the bottom jump. And they wanted to disqualify me from the competition because at that time you weren't allowed to do flips, remember? And I got like a whole ton of shit about it. Like, you're not allowed to do that, da 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 da. And I was just like, man, like, come on. And they wanted,
Anyway.
yeah, exactly. And they wanted to disqualify me from the event, and it was a qualifier for like the national, like I was skiing on the national level at that time, but I still had to qualify my spot every year. And they wanted to disqualify me, and I wouldn't have been able to compete at like any of the national level events. And I was just like, this is so retarded. Like, you want to like kick me out because I did a backflip? Like, it's just spiteful,
So
because they knew I was
NORAMs in moguls?
no. So I quit before that.
Okay.
So, and then that same year, K2 was sponsoring me at that time, like as like just as a kid, like they were flowing me like skis and park skis, whatever.
How do you get that? Is that all through Shane and Mark? Because they're
That's
both
that's Zox. Yeah. That's fully Zox. He was like, you just get some skis. And I was on like a brand called Nigel before. And then Zox was just like, get off of that, like get onto K2, like let's go. And
wasn't he on
K2
that
sent
though
me-
before? Wasn't he on Kneisel?
Yeah.
State of Mind?
He was
Okay.
he was on Nigel in State of Mind. Yes, you're totally right. So then that same year that they wanted to kick me out of the competitions because I did a backflip, K2 was like, hey, we need someone to go to Japan for this like demo we're doing. And they were like, would you be interested in going? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I'll totally go. So I went to Japan, like 17 or 16 years old, alone. And I met, do you remember Dave Gravy Restavoyevich? Yeah.
Dave
That
Gravy
guy was
Freed.
off. Yeah. So then I hung out with Dave.
So Dave Gravy Cream, Ethan, a history lesson, was the first big Australian free skier. He had all the K2 lads and Rip Curl lads and represented for Southern Hemisphere. So big up.
Yeah. So I went to Japan when I was like 16, and I was like, I think the free ride thing is the thing. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this. And that's when I quit.
16. So 16 would have been
17.
the year of Degenerates. So when I think of, and you're demoing, are you at that demo where Kusan catches the skis and the banner off the jump? That's in the secret section?
Oh, Yeah, no. Yeah, I know the one you're talking
So
about. I
is
think
that
that
what
was
kind
the
of
year.
demo you're doing? What kind of
Yeah,
demo are you being
that was
brought
like the
over to
demo.
do?
I don't know. They wanted like we did like a jump. It was like some jump event, and I can't even remember, man.
So are you on twin
It's
tips?
just like yeah. Remember that crappy K2 twin tip stunt man?
Yeah, the stuntman looked
It
like
is so bad. So like the soft, no, it was the poacher. Even before that, the poacher, the soft one,
no
the
way.
super soft one.
Because
They
that
couldn't
only came
land
out
on.
in 96 or 97, and then they discontinued it.
Yeah.
And it was
That's the
only in
ski
like
I
a
was skiing on.
163 or something. And it was a noodle.
Yes, horrible. You couldn't land on the ski. So that's the ski I was skiing on. Um, yeah. So that was it. That I basically went to us. They sent me to Japan. They sent me to Australia, and it was like a couple of things back to back. And I was really young, and I was just like, "What am I doing with this mogul? Like, I don't need to go. Like, say, I was like, forget it. Like, I don't need to go to Ontario. Like,
Yo,
I
this
was
is so
like, what?
crazy. I never knew you were so young and you got into this. So you were
Yeah,
demo touring the sport when you were 15 in Australia and Japan. So I get Zox handed you off to K2, but are you dealing as a 15-year-old with K2 International out of the USA to send you globally? How the fuck does that work?
well, it wasn't like that formal, right? It was just like they were sending me skis, and then they needed
Buying you
people to
plane
go.
tickets to foreign countries for a minor.
Yeah,
What is your
yeah.
parents seeing?
I don't
Have
know. They were
fun?
cool with it. Yeah, they were cool with it. They were like okay with it. But when I think about it, if Leo told me, "Hey, I got this bike sponsor, and they want to send me for this event," there's no way I would tell him no.
Totally
And
makes sense in
you know,
2025 when we've seen it for 30 years. But as
yeah.
a parent that is now doesn't understand what you say you're going to do, you can't communicate what you're
Yeah,
going to go do. But I get it, it's opportunity, right? Like why?
yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm just trying to understand like if it was K2 out of Washington, United States of America, and they're like, here's a plane ticket for your son.
yeah,
Like it would
yeah,
seem like a business almost, right? Not just an
yeah,
opportunity of a friend. Because
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I watched it with Kai or with Callum and Sean as young
yeah,
kids, and
yeah,
like to me, I was watching people do business and take advantage of youth because it's a
yeah,
business as a friend, whatever.
yeah,
So I'm just curious
yeah,
as to what parents think because you're the first story I've heard of this. I've heard it with
yeah,
18-year-olds. I heard about it with the
yeah,
Phils, heard about it with New Canadian Air Force, but they were
yeah,
all fucking 18 plus and already traveling the world through moguls or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was just like they just sent me.
That's
That
so
was it.
awesome, man.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was really cool for me too. I was like, okay, this is really rad.
So you get
Yeah.
back and you do this awesome year. So the year that you demo toured in 90, it was also the big snow year in Whistler, 97,
Yeah.
98, same year. You tour Foehn
98.
International and you do this.
Wait, it happened like yeah, it was like it was all just in 1 year basically. Like Japan, the big snow, and I was like, okay, like this is like the best shit ever. And then the next year, or maybe it was the year after, I can't recall exactly. But then heavy hitting happened, and I started filming for heavy hitting.
So this is
Um,
crazy.
and
You're 16. Are you missing school?
no, no,
You're
no, no.
never missing school and
I
doing all
never,
of this.
I never missed school. I never like I went to a total normal school, no like ski academy, like nothing special. Like I just went to the local school in North Van, and like I mean maybe like some extra Friday here and there, like or something, but like literally not missing school like ever.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you quick. Now you link up with Travi with heavy hitting crew
Yeah.
and you're what, 17, 16?
Yeah, I was
That's
young.
fucked
Like
up.
yeah,
I
because
met him when I was 19 and that was fucked up.
those guys went hard, right? I was like a little bit too young to be hanging out with those guys.
But
Yeah,
it had
in
to be so
hindsight,
awesome.
yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. I remember just being like mind blown of like, holy moly, like this is like really something right now.
So how is this? Is this another Shane Zox link?
No, I don't know how I'm linked with those guys. I think it was just like literally. I think it was being on the glacier, and they were like watching me ski, and then they saw me ski, but they weren't like doing a thing like formally. Kind of, I think they were filming for High North or something. Anyway, it wasn't like a total link. It was more just like they knew who I was, sort of, and then I can't put my finger on it to be totally.
They were
honest.
a vibe before they were a film company, right? So they both had their
exactly.
like Canon GL1 or whatever it was, like Johnny.
Yeah.
So they had their own cameras. They're on the glacier every day at Camp of Champs and High North.
Yeah.
Because I went in '99 for my first time, and I went, and so I remember meeting them.
Yeah.
And I partied with them that for that 2 weeks I was there.
Yeah.
And I just remember like, dude, we're just fucking filming. And I'm like, for what? And they're like, dude, you want a gas mask, parental advisory? And like their whole vibe was so fun because it was only about charging, whether it's skiing or partying or filming or whatever. It was just
yeah.
So I'm imagining
you remember those white beaters they had that said like class on the front of them?
Yeah, with the gas
and they had like the mask on the back. The gas mask was on the back. That was funny. Anyway, yeah. So then the next year, I believe it was, I linked up with Travi and Feet and Chili, and we did all the heavy hitting thing. And heavy hitting, I was just like filming on the weekends after school or whatever, like that kind of thing.
So you didn't think of yourself as like the super pro that was in the movies that was just traveling the world and fucking making a ski segment? You didn't feel like you were at that level when you were in? Because I just made Ethan watch that segment while we were waiting for you to call.
Okay.
So he just watched it for the first time.
The one with the fire on the rail.
Yeah.
That was awesome. So I was there. One of the dudes who did the heavy hitting, he's like at that time, like doing a rail was a thing. Like it was new too. Like that was like 90. I don't know. And he had like gas, and he's like, "Do you think we can light it on fire?" And it's like so loose, so crazy. But anyway,
but I want to talk about the heavy hitting more because I think like you.
Yeah, me too. I've never even heard of this crew.
Like our sport was created in so many different areas around the world. And I believe heavy hitting Travis's were like the fucking reason for the culture creating in Whistler.
Yeah.
Right. The whole like if you thought of Whistler twin tip skiing, it could be on a mountain and it could be in a park. And so when I look at that, the closest thing was Squaw, but Squaw still was too big mountain orientated and too park orientated. So it's separated still. So I was so stoked when I watched what the Travises put out Heavy Hitting Crew as art, because man, this movie, if I can tell anyone to go watch it, between Parental Advisory and Guatemalan Persuader, these were the two biggest cultural movies as a fan, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But I was a fan first, and like, man, I can still watch those two movies today and just be like, whoa, that's so time stamped, that because they had everyone. And if you watch Heavy Hitting, they had everyone because they were on the glacier, and everyone in the world who was in our sport was on the glacier. And so I guess even with Kai, right? Like I asked Kai, what should I ask Anthony? He's like, dude, just tell him to talk about Parental Advisory, right? Because Kai's 11 years old at this time. So now you have this other kid who's 11, Callum's 11, fucking Sean Pettit's 9, and they get to watch what you get to do as a 17-year-old. Oh. So I guess like, I want to hear your perspective from this, because like you saw everything else, but you were part of a crew. Like we touched on it. Whatever you have to say about it, I'd love to learn too.
No, that's interesting. And it's interesting, like stuff that, you take it for granted. You're just like, oh, whatever. But I think for me, it was like, it really felt like very West Coast. Like it was like really our thing, and it was a world that Travi and Feet and Chili like created. Like they lived in this like bubble in this like space that it was insane what they created. And just to bring all the people together, I think also it's like was the time that skiing was like more, as you said, like loose, like people just went hard and they partied hard. And I think they shaped what it meant to be a skier from like our space, like in terms of like how you live, how you carry yourself, what you do, the way you see the world. Like, I don't know, it was pretty like not old school, but it was just like there's a lot of like mentorship and learning from those dudes, who are still like holding it down like big time, which is
And they were
I don't
cutting
know.
edge, man. The graphics they did, I don't, I think it was, and here's a history lesson. And correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm saying something, but the guy is it Chili? What's his last name?
No, the guy who did the graphics is Stu McKay Smith.
Yeah. So this is the brother of, Ace McKay Smith, who used to be in all the Greg Stump movies. So
Exactly.
the bloodline of these graphics in this movie go back ski movie history wise, like decades before.
Yeah.
And when you watch all the visual graphics in this movie, from the pig snorting cocaine lines to the blowing up of Whistler Village to everything, man, like as someone who consumed every single ski movie that year a million times, like there was nothing like it. And still to this day, pushing, like making people have an opinion on what they're watching and then doing something visually that no one else does. So I don't know. I love this kind of shit in ski movies. So I just want to big up these guys, man. And for the fact that you got to be part of that as such a young person, to see that being different has more value than being the same. And I think that projected you in your career because you were always different.
Yeah. And I don't know, those guys were just like awesome. It changed a lot for me too, because they gave me a big shot. Like I was a high school student from North Van, right? Like straight up, and then they gave me a shot, and I got to ski, and it was great. Like it was so cool, and I learned so much hanging out with those guys. And is really, I was way too young to be hanging out with them too, which was really adventurous for me. So.
But you were beside the biggest names in our sport in that movie, right? Like every big name was in that movie, if I remember. So like that's kind of
like all the West Coast there.
You were legit an equal, So when we watched you from wherever we were watching that movie, we're like, "Fuck, that guy is as dope as the dopest people."
Yeah, I never thought of it that way, but yeah.
We got Ethan.
Well, this is the first, our discussion today is the first time I've ever heard of the Heavy Hitting Crew, so I'm just trying to absorb and make sense of everything as much as possible. Were they already a crew before you joined, or did it all kind of come about at the same time?
Yeah, I think the way people think about crew now is like a little bit different than what it was at the time. Like, it's not like you two hung out together. Some of them did, but then there was like other people part of the vibe, and like, you could be part of that momentum and that thing that they were creating. And every other company or thing that I've been part of was like, they didn't have that energy, So, and it wasn't like I spent a lot with traveling feet, but like I was crew. Like I was a kid, they were more adults and doing their thing. I was still part of the crew in the sense of like, let's try a thing here.
Oh, I think he's coming.
Am I back?
You're back tentatively.
Back.
Rose.
Hopefully. Anyway, I was just saying, like, is it back? Does it work?
We can hear you.
The audio's working.
Yeah, the audio's working good.
Oh, audio's working good. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't have like internet at the hotel, so I just went off my phone.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to try to call back?
No, I think it's fine.
Better.
I think it's caught up now. We'll just pause whenever we need to. So you were saying that you kind of just joined in, but also how old were these guys?
They must have been like 24 or 5.
Oh shit! Okay.
At the oldest, I think that because I was like, I remember I went when I was 19.
22.
Yeah, I think they were just like 2 years. I think they were like a year older than JP at most. Because JP was.
But then that means I was 17, 5, 6. No, that means they were 23 around there.
So you're like a high schooler hanging out with college kids at the Hill, and they're wild.
Yeah, but not even that. It's like way older than college, because college kids are like kind of fuck ups and stuff. Like,
yeah, sure. I guess they're like 23.
They were like living in Whistler, like starting a film company, like running the town, like working at the best restaurant, like knowing everyone. Like college they're not like college kids. They ran Whistler. Like that's the thing that people don't understand.
Like ran it. They Sushi Village, man. You go to Sushi Village today, and you go in the back. I haven't been there for a decade plus, but I guarantee you that like all the autographs are still on the walls going to the bathroom. And like that's all during that time period where those guys ran it. And then we just shut it down.
Yeah.
Have 60 people in there every fucking night. And everyone's like, sake margaritas, we'll have 8,000 of them. And they're like, we're out of alcohol.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because you can't have that in Whistler today. Like Whistler's super corporate. Like when I think of Whistler now, I think of like the most corporate ski resort maybe in North America. Like super duper expensive, families on vacation. Yeah. So it seems like this was a good time to be in Whistler.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was really special. It was really, really special. Like in terms of the town itself, and the vibe. And if you think about what the ski industry has done to itself in the last 20 years as well, like it's a different thing than it was in 2000. Like it's just everything changes, and Whistler included, completely.
Zox, man, like Zox is like 23 at this time, 24, and he started the biggest camp for our whole sport in the world. So you have like these young kids that are like all creating, like even me, I'm making a movie at 19, driving out from Minnesota with John Turkula, who's the only Minnesota guy to go to the fucking X Games in 2000 or 1999. And so like we're like we was sleeping on like Mark Kendrick and the Predator outerwear fucking clothing. So you have the mogul, everyone is an entrepreneur. And I even stayed at Shane Zox's floor the first year I went. That's where I stayed. I slept on his fucking floor.
Yeah.
And I didn't know him.
Yeah.
I'm from Minnesota, drove my minivan. And he's like, yo, you're trying to create? Johnny said you're filming once in a while for him. You shoot with the Phils?
Yeah.
Like,
come hang out with us. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's easy to forget, but like there was so much positive energy and people like opportunity, and just people were just doing stuff, which was amazing. Like at that time, like it was so special. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Sick. Whatever ended up happening,
forget these things.
Whatever ended up happening to these guys, because I've never even heard of. I've obviously never heard of the crew, but I've never even heard of these guys before. Yeah.
So they made Parental Advisory, and then they were gonna make another film, but they just they basically had one sponsor, like Oakley sponsored their movie, and
they weren't. Just so you know, too, I'm going to intervene. Mikael had one weed shot in my movie in 2001. Everyone hated it. Okay, these guys had cocaine police pigs snorting cocaine lines in the movie, with people killing and blowing up Whistler. So like I wasn't that liked as a 16 millimeter film guy. These guys were almost hated as digital filmmakers. Like that's how dope Strokes was at Oakley for supporting them, because no one else wanted to support them. But since Strokes had the power, he made Oakley core as fuck by being able to support pigs snorting cocaine with a police uniform. Like, yo.
But Strokes killed, like, what a good job Strokes
That's
did,
what I'm
right?
saying. He made the corporation core. And then by working with the Travis, like, I'm just saying, like, it would have been hard for Travis because I knew how hard it was for me. And like after making that movie, like ski world doesn't necessarily want to embrace you when you make a movie like they did. Maybe Whistler does.
I can't find this video anywhere online. The only part of this movie you could find online is Anthony's segment. That's it.
Type in
really?
parental advisory 2000 newschoolers.com in Google search, and the whole video that's edited. We had to take out Trent and Paytoner's part, but it's there.
It's shown up as Adobe. It doesn't support Adobe anymore.
And they must have flipped their website over. All right.
Damn. You got that one. You got that one.
I might have a VHS of that.
Send it over to Mr. Eric Iberg, and he can get it converted, hopefully.
Yeah. I will.
My story behind that is it took me, I asked Travi, like when I re-released all the ski movies like 10 years ago. So I was like, yo, can I put this out? And they're like, no, we got to edit it like out Trenton's part. And then they took like a year and a half to edit out Trenton's part.
Why? Because
he was the head coach of the Canadian team. And they didn't think the visuals would be that
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sushi Village
outside the Savage Beagle. Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Well, shit, dude. Okay. So parental advisory.
So
go ahead, Ethan. Like take over some low. So we're in like 2000 now, and he's like a 17-year-old.
Yeah, so there's just so many great movies coming out this time, according to New Schoolers. Like, this was the year where, this was like the time period where Burger Time might have come out as well. Did Degenerates come out at a similar time, or Propaganda? I'm trying to figure out.
Degenerates came out in 98. Burger Time came out 2001. So
this is closer to Propaganda.
2000 was the game.
Okay.
So at the game, and I believe that was parental advisory because it was like a 2-year project by those guys. They both came out in 2000. And so I think if this adds up, because Anthony blew the fuck up with Johnny in Propaganda, right? With Buffalo Trip, or is that Happy Days?
Oh, I don't know, Eric.
Oh yeah, you don't know Propaganda or Happy Days? Buffalo?
No, I don't know. I don't know which trip was which. Propaganda was all the Buffalo stuff.
Okay, so 2001.
That was like,
now I'm caught up. So he did the parental advisory 17, and then obviously you got put on the radar of Johnny DeCesare and Poor Boys through your whole crew and stuff like this, and then your sponsorships through Oakley and K2 to bring you there. You're still in high school.
Yeah.
Are you still in high school when you filmed Propaganda?
No, I had graduated at that time. So that was my first. That was my first year living in Whistler. Because I was working at sushi. I was working at Sushi Village. So a funny story. I was working at Sushi Village, and they asked me if I want to go to Buffalo to shoot that, like, for a trip. And I'm like bussing tables at Sushi Village, and I like talked to my manager, and I was like, I think I kind of need to like go on this trip. Like, it's kind of important for me. And
so
he's
everyone's
like,
getting drunk in the Poor Boys crew at the fucking Sushi Village, and they're like, "Yo, bus boy, you want to go to fucking Buffalo with us next week?"
Well, kind of, but yeah. But I was like working, like all the like pros would come in, and I'd like be like literally bussing the tables, you know, like that was funny. But I got fired from Sushi Village because I went on that Buffalo trip because they like I didn't book my time off correctly or whatever, and I was just like, forget it, man. Like I got the call, I'm leaving in 5 days. Like this is the chance to make my career. Like I'm going. So I went and I got fired, and that was a funny moment.
So
I was like, oh.
So to me, like I watched Parental Advisory a bunch. I was stoked because you had an Eazy-E song, and Eazy-E is my favorite kid. So that's
so good, right?
That made you win no matter what. You had a fucking like old car, like whatever. But I think if I remember, I haven't watched in a while, you had a decent amount of backcountry and whatever. So, but then when Propaganda comes out and you go with Poor Boys, if I was to do a stamp on my fan memory in life, I think of that shit. I think of urban rails done at the highest level, high intensity, high all this. So was rails like a super thing that you were stoked on before? Or was this a time period where you're like, yo, I'm just going to step my shit up because of opportunity? Because that's what, like, to me, you were the rail guy when you entered the global scene.
Global scene, yeah. I was always down with it. I just want, and it like started. It started. I was always down like with rails. I always thought it was like
I'm just
fun
saying
and
you were the
cool
first
and
dope
different.
urban guy, okay? In 2001, when I'm
Yeah,
filming urbans with the fills and stuff, it's straight on, straight off. Straight on to switch
yeah,
off.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay. And so this is a
yeah.
normal thing in the 16 millimeter. If we watched all the urban shit in 2001, no one's doing
Mhm.
high speed. Like you skied rails in 2001, like step films. Do you ever watch these guys?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah, yeah,
approach
yeah. Of
rails
course.
like them where it's scary. You're going so fast.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so like
yeah,
that's what I remember, and that's what set you apart from every single person in the sport
yeah,
at the beginning. So that's why I was always
yeah.
just interested, like what did you skateboard? Did you do anything in urban environments outside of skiing?
No,
No.
no. I
So
just
that makes
liked
it
it.
interesting too.
I just was like down with it. And then at that time, I was dating a girl who was like a snowboarder, and she was like really like heavy into snowboarding. So it was like we were watching like snowboard parts and snowboard videos. So like JP Walker and all those dudes were like kind of like you're like thinking about what they were doing. And
So
then
when
like
you
I was
went to
always
Buffalo, did you watch everything Nate Bozung did the year before in True
yeah,
Life and got inspired?
yes, yes,
Because
exactly.
you
That
had the
was like
same
it. I
spots.
was like, let's go. Like, where did Bozon go? Like, let's go. I'm going to all those spots. And
Big
like,
up
I knew,
Bozons.
yeah, exactly. And like, I wanted like that. Like, I don't know if it was Happy Days or if it was in propaganda, but that like gap out to like, to dunk thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to hit that thing so bad. Like that rail was sick. And the craziest thing about that rail is I did it like way better, and the filmer fucking missed the shot. So like in my life, there's that rail
Did you
like
go with that
done.
old man Tom?
I don't know who I
What was
went
his?
with, but
He was awesome. Do you
Erickson,
remember this guy I'm
Tom
talking about?
Erickson.
Tom
Yeah,
someone?
yeah, Tom Erickson.
Yeah, Tom Erickson.
Yeah,
Loved his hats.
yeah, 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 yeah. No, so I don't know. That was that at that time. Rails was it was just like fun. I just liked skiing anything, any sort of like anything anywhere. I was just down.
Who was
So
your like
yeah.
biggest like who were you inspired in skiing at this time? Like did you look up to anyone or is everyone just a friend that skied and you push each other? Or was there anyone you looked up and be like, holy shit, they're fucked?
Uh,
Because there was epic times, right? I mean, 2001, you had a Candide, you had a Tanner,
yeah,
you had Evan Raps. I mean, even 2000,
yeah,
the shit he was doing, where it's kind of next level. Like, did you
yeah,
look up to anyone, or did you have a dope enough circle where it was just you're inspired by everyone that you're rolling with?
yeah. It was more like I was just like hyped to just shred, and I think if there was anyone I looked up to, it was Julian. That was like
Renier?
the dude. Yeah, that was like the dude for me mostly.
And why? If I'm looking at what he put out in, like I remember on the Glacier, I was beyond stoked because he had style. He had the yellow jacket, oversized fucking chromo
Yeah,
helmet, fucking dope ass Oakley goggles, and he spoke with a weird accent. But
yeah.
like you as an athlete, like what are you seeing that was ill about him as a youth?
Oh, it was just like a homie. It was just like what music we listened to, what we did, what we talked about, like the grabs he was doing, um, just like the inventing of stuff, like the little like nuance in the skiing, that he just made me like think differently about all the stuff. So yeah, I think that was like probably, and then there was no one really looked up to like crazy. I mean, T was throwing down at that time. Like he was clearly the best. So it wasn't like a looking up to, but it was like, damn, Sanders like really good.
I'm just like, even though
Yeah.
let's do it more people, right? Scogan, right? You could watch him in
Yo,
rotation
yeah.
to the right and
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
left,
That was
body
crazy.
rotations. You had Pollard who was
I
doing
ran
body
in,
burials we never seen.
yeah.
So
I ran into
when did you first meet Julian?
High North, probably in 98 or 99.
Yellow
Because I
jacket
was
year.
big. Yeah, around then. It was like the Mikey Hill year, like Skiing's Last Stand kind of year
So
around
did you
then.
get to watch both Skiing's Last Stand and then what was his other one, Super Show?
Yeah.
Okay,
Wait,
because I'm
watch
just
like
trying to
on
imagine as a kid too, right? So Skiing's Last Stand was 98 and Super Show was 99. And so you got to watch Shane dominate. Those are my favorite Shane segments of my whole life.
yeah.
You
Those
know,
just
like
that's
especially because it
skiing
was
for
Seymour,
sure.
right? Like, so your
Yeah.
home hill is in this fucking movie with fireworks going off, 16
Yeah,
millimeter
yeah,
at night on a kicker. And
yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm just like, you had so many inspirations that were so close, you know? So that's why I'm saying
Yeah.
you got to experience, like, no way, Shane, you were in a movie with 6 people? You know, no
Yeah,
one
yeah,
else was
yeah,
in a
yeah,
16
yeah.
millimeter movie with
Sure.
6. That was my inspiration to make Royalty, because I was like, what? You can make a movie with 6 people? Like, even
Yeah,
Diddy got
Kilby.
most inspired in that shit. But so you met Julian and then you meet with him. Like, do you guys like start to like work together at all right away? Or like, because I mean, like, we start Armada later, but
Yeah,
what do
yeah.
you do in the meantime?
You gotta keep in mind, like that was probably '98, and I was just like I was a kid who couldn't afford to go to High North, so and I knew Shane from the moguls thing, and he was like, "Yo, just come and shovel, like just come and dig, and do all the maintenance, and you can come in and just ski like when you're done the maintenance." So I was just like a digger, and that like just through that like nuance of my life, like just being a North fan, going to that club, not having the means to just like go to camp all summer like some of these other kids, like being a digger was like super important in my career trajectory because like there's tons of other kids who just went to camp like all summer and I was at camp but I was a digger. So
So
all the
did you hang
dudes
out with
like
Ryan
JP.
Schmies every day?
Yeah, wait, I was Ryan Schmid's boss, dude. Like I ran the D crew for a while.
So
But
just so you know, and Ethan knows, Ryan Schmies was a guy from Wisconsin from a crew called Midwest All Stars in the late
yeah,
'90s. So Ryan Schmies is like foundation of our sport in Wisconsin at the highest level.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
he
yeah,
went
yeah.
out, same
Schmid's is
opportunity,
dope.
right? I think he might have been 18 though when you were 15, and or something like that. You were his boss because he's only a year
Yeah,
younger
I
than
was
you.
Ryan's boss. But so it's like it was just steps, right? So like at the beginning of High North, like all the coaches dug. I was there. I was digging. So then, like eventually, like the coaches would have to coach, and I would just finish the maintenance for the day, and I would ski. And then eventually, the camp grew, and they needed more maintenance. And the coaches like fucking JF. You think he's gonna shovel? You know, like come on. So
Did he even show up?
yeah, JF used to fucking take a cab like from. Do you know where Marketplace in Whistler is? You know where like the Wizard used to be? It's not always been anymore. Like he
Yeah.
used to get cabs from the Marketplace to the Wizard because he didn't want to walk in the mornings. It was so epic, man. But
Let me take a pee because I want to talk more about. I
yeah,
think High North was one of the dopest things in our whole sport ever.
yeah,
So, and it
ever,
doesn't
yeah,
exist. Give me 1 second,
yeah,
please.
I'm so stoked
yeah.
to talk. Once we
I
get to
hope we
Armada,
can get to
I'm
that. We're
stoked
only
to
in
hear about it.
1999 right now, dude. I want to get to
I
2008
know.
Armada
Yeah,
outerwear. But fuck,
we have
that
so
might
much to talk
be so
about.
much.
Yeah, I know.
So let's go. So
Um,
let's get back to High North. So I guess
okay.
like
So High North, basically, I was like, yo, Shane, I'm going to my parents. I'm like, Shane's starting this camp. I want to go. And, you know, my parents were like, well, that's kind of expensive. And I was like, yeah, but I gotta go. Like, come on, you know? And I knew at this time, I kind of knew like people were like skiing way more than me who were like getting better than me and I was kind of bumming. And it's actually interesting to talk to my parents. In hindsight, they actually told me that they're really sad that they didn't send me to like a ski academy or something, like to try and like foster that more. But it's also interesting because it made me who I am, and I
it would have
never
been the
did.
worst decision your parents made.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Like you never know, right? Like life is so.
No, but in
interesting.
hindsight, from my outside opinion, is if you would have went to a school, you would have been conformed, where instead you always had to earn what you wanted, create creative ways to be part of it, and then understand how you can keep participating in it, rather than parents sending us money once a year so you can participate for a whole year. Like, think about what you had to do every day to fucking figure out how you fit in.
How to go skiing.
You know what I mean? Just every element. How to get to the hill, how to get a lift ticket, how to fucking do something new, how to fucking be better than that guy, how to fucking look cool, how to get a jacket because you're cold.
Yeah. Anyway, so my parents, they sent me for like 1 week of High North, and they were like, after that, like, you're cut off. Like, that's it. And I was like, yeah, but 1 week's not enough, you know? And like, when I frame it, thinking about Leo, I'm like, oh my God, like, we're gonna have the same conversations. But anyway, so I end up to ask Shane if I can shovel. And I remember, like, it was a big deal for Shane to, like, accept me into the shoveling crew. At that time, there was a guy named Dan Elliott who was like total dick. We used to call him Dog, Dick of the Glacier. That was like his name.
I see his face.
And Shannon Shad, do you remember Shannon Shad? He was like on the dig. Yeah, it was a pinky, I think. Yeah. And
wait, he's missing a finger?
Yeah.
Shannon Shad, another South Dakota fucking foundation, man.
Yeah.
He had a missing finger before Candide made his missing finger popular.
Candide has a missing finger?
Dude, so every shot with Shannon Shad, if you watch like his segments and like Degenerates or 13, Shannon always does his lifestyle and shows his finger missing.
Yeah.
So I'd always laugh at him because that was his thing.
Oh, yeah.
But he was the original 1080 guy.
Original 1080 guy. His parent, he's from like a carpentry family, and like when he was a kid, he cut off his pinky finger. Like on like a bandsaw or like a skill saw or like something. I don't know. He cut it off.
Dude, big up Shannon Shad for being the first super booster of a half pipe I ever saw. I've never seen anyone boost as.
Oh my God! Right?
Yep.
That was crazy. Yeah. So anyway, so I started shoveling, and then that was like kind of important for me because it shaped like my relationship with all the coaches and everyone who was like there, because I was just part of the team. Once again, I was like part of the crew. And this was like at the same time as parental advisory. So I was like working on the dig crew, knew all the dudes in Whistler through Travi and Feet. And then, yeah, it was awesome.
So you're filming at the same time as digging?
Yeah. Yeah. So that was.
Are you doing the Whistler Open too? So Ethan, there was a thing at High North called the Whistler Open, which was a qualifier for X Games Big Air in 1999 and 2000. So did you compete in that ever?
I don't think I did because I was shoveling.
Okay.
Because I was
this
doing
was one of the sickest events ever, the Big Air quarter pipe. And I saw shit I'd never seen before in my life. Like,
you remember Shoya? You remember Shoya?
Yeah, I made a
that kid skied. That kid skied so good at that event.
Because Junpei did too. Junpei was there. I don't know if Shoya was there, dude, because that event ended in 2000. Shoya didn't show on the scene till 2003. So the only Japanese was Junpei Endo.
Okay.
And he had the pro model with Solomon.
Yeah, maybe it was different. I don't know.
But
I
just remember fucking Toby Dawson won in 99 and Raps got like second. So Raps is doing like lawn darts and Toby Dawson was a mogul.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just CR got third, I think. CR was your age. So CR was like 15 and he got third place. So like that had to be fun as fuck if you saw a similar age kid as you.
Kid do it. Yeah, throw it down. Yeah, I think I was shoveling. Like I was doing a lot of maintenance at that time, so I don't know.
CR did a core 1260 when he was 15 at that event.
Yeah, crazy, huh? Yeah. Was that the first one on the quarter pipe? I
No,
think
not
so,
on the
right?
quarter pipe. He did it on the big air jump.
He did on the big air?
Yeah,
Oh,
because he
okay.
backslapped a little and then he fucking pushed into the quarter so he could still do his 540 shit. I got the shot.
Nice. Attaboy. um, yeah, so Ethan, just like High North was, do you know much about it? It was like a camp that Shane started, and essentially like all the A-level skiers were like coaches, which is like crazy if you think about it in terms of like any other context. Like imagine you can go to a camp and get coached by the best music producer in the world, like, and you're like a young music producer, and like
From
if
all
you like
over the
put
world.
the script. Yeah, but it's just like crazy context to think about, like just the accessibility. Accessibility, I think, is like the word. And like the glacier at that time was like it was buzzing, man. The energy was crazy. That was really special.
Was that the only camp at the time? Wendell's wasn't around
There
at
was
that point,
another.
right?
There was. Sorry.
Was Wendell's around at that time? Because when I was a kid, Wendell's was the spot I
Yeah.
wanted to go.
Wendell's did not start
Yeah,
a ski program
Wendell's.
until Travis Erdman brought it on in about 2000. So skiers were, you saw shots in 98, 99 with skiers going down there, but it was only snowboard. And they got to hit the
Yeah.
jumps. In 2000, 2001, Travis Erdman started the ski program there. And then there was also Camp Revolution, which was Three Phils and Evan Didvig in 2001. But in Whistler, there was Camp of Champs, which allowed skiing. And they had a
Yeah.
half pipe where High North didn't have a half pipe. And then by 2004, I think Smart Mogul Skiing, SMS, changed over to Momentum, or maybe that's 2007. And then that was another terrain park availability.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
And there was another camp called Dave. Yeah, and there was another camp called Dave Murray, which was like a sort of more like locals camp. And then there was also like a public lane, so you could go ride that. But the move would be just to get cool with the Camp of Champions diggers, and then you could just, as a normal person, just go up and go ride with them. And they had like COC really had some good stuff happening there. They had like a huge park, like mega, like it was way bigger than everyone. And I don't know how many kids, like a week, it must have been like 1,000 kids a week. It was mayhem, man.
It was
really
up.
crazy.
So they had like an entryway, Ethan. So this is why he said you have to get in with them. So there's like, it's like a bouncer at a club. And you enter like this little like archway and he's like, show me your shit. And then if you're cool with them, he's like, you're in, you're in, you're in. And that's how you enter the lane. And so if you were just a bunch of pros, all the pros showed up. They're like, yeah. And then they got let in
down.
because of the power of the diggers. Not the power. You wouldn't fucking contact homie that started COC. That's pretty awesome. Ackerbacher.
Ken Achenbach. Yeah.
Yeah. But you didn't have to deal with anyone big back in the day. You just fucking knew how to fucking move the scene.
Yeah, that was interesting. And those guys were much like the diggers at COC were kind of like heavy hitting in a way. They like really ran the town and like. Anyway, I ended up to be close with all those guys because we're all diggers, so we all see each other, and yeah, that was cool.
Joe, Camp of Champs. So now so now you're like a camp guy. You have a dope ass segment in fucking parental advisory. Do you get paid sponsors before you start to shoot with Poor Boys? Because when you shot with Poor Boys your first time, I mean, you got dope ass Oakley clothes on head to toe. They just launched outerwear. You got eyewear. You got fucking K2 on. To me, it looked like you were a sponsored paid athlete in that first Poor Boys movie. What was your first sponsor?
Yeah, my first sponsor was Oakley, so that was like the beginning. A float, like proper sponsor, like someone who actually paid me and it wasn't like just product or whatever. Oakley was my first real sponsor.
And that was when they released
beginning.
outerwear, right? Because when you signed Oakley, you were outerwear and eyewear first year they existed?
Yeah, head to toe. I signed like a crazy deal that I didn't even really understand because my parents like didn't get mixed up in my shit.
So
Like
did
they
you
let
kill it?
me.
Can you tell me how much? Because I remember. Do you remember Pete Metterhofer?
He made so much money.
Yeah. So the fact that no one
I
knows who he is,
know.
and he was the first head to toe
I
Oakley
know.
eyewear and outerwear, and I think you were the same time period as him. How much did you make
Yeah,
as your
but
first contract?
no, I didn't. Nothing. Like nothing. I remember because I know this because of that. You know, I was like, oh, I totally botched it. No, I didn't do good. They bought me like a $5,000 sled is like part of the deal, and then it was just like a bunch. I don't know. It was not a lot of money.
But as an
I
18, 19
basically,
year old, you killed it, right?
but
Like in your, you were 18, 19 years old.
yeah, 18, 19.
So I
Like I
mean, to
was
get a
just
sled.
so basically it helped me, but a used sled, right? Not a new sled. But
Okay.
it helped me. It basically helped me move to Whistler and work a little bit nights at Sushi Village, and then kind of be able to like coast enough where I didn't have to really work, but I didn't. I, you know what I mean? I was like sort of in this like weird middle thing. And then it also allowed me to like just like be able in the summers to sort of work landscaping, but not work too much and be able to sort of like do my thing. And it was like a 2 year deal. It wasn't that much money at all. And it was mostly like just to prove a deal. So,
So who
but
was your second sponsor?
second sponsor, K2 probably. K2 was my second sponsor.
So Oakley comes on
Um,
board because they were part of heavy hitting. You have all the alliances.
yeah,
They
exactly.
understand who you are, what you can do. Why does
Yeah.
K2 want to sign you? Is it because of the poor boy segment?
Well, I was on K2 already. Like I was already riding. Like I was on a flow
But I mean,
program
why do
from
they
them.
decide to give you money after multiple years of you skiing with them, right? Like, what did you do to get an
I
extra
don't
paycheck?
know. Nothing. They treated me like shit. That was like the worst thing ever. Like I was like begging them for money. I was like fucking in like. Do you remember that like Buffalo? As a business person now, I look back on it and I'm like, they treated you like shit. Like I had like 14 pages in freeze in one issue,
Oh,
and
yeah.
K2 like couldn't have cared less. They like couldn't have give a fuck.
No, Ethan's
And
bugged out going through the old Freeze magazines,
yeah,
how popular
so
you were.
so Ethan, those days I had like the worst deal from K2 ever. It was like travel budget. And I was just like, yo, like do something. Like fucking do something. Like send me some money. And they were just like couldn't care less about me. I don't know why. And I'm still bitter about it, obviously. I'm 43, like it's been 20 years and I still get fired up. So I quit. I literally quit. And I like one day I just told them like I'm fucking out. And I painted my skis pink, like the top of my skis pink. I have a powder cover with pink, like it's hard,
Shut the
really hard
fuck
to
up.
see. But my skis are, yeah, I have a powder cover and I have pink skis because I quit K2, but I didn't have a sponsor.
No way. So did you film anything
Yeah.
with, so in Happy Days, were you covered up in any of these shots? Like, did you black out the tops in that movie? Because I'm guessing you had a segment.
That's right. That's right around when I quit. Yeah. Happy Days. I don't know if I have the pink skis on in Happy Days, but I probably have some K2 skis. And then at one point, I'm probably on the first Armadas
Well, no, in
on the
1242 is
black.
when you got on Armadas. So I don't think you had any
Uh-uh.
shot.
Happy Days. I'm probably riding a black pair of skis. They're all black.
Okay, okay,
Those are
okay,
the first
okay.
Armadas.
That's sick
Yeah.
because I know
Yeah.
Kusan had a shot in Happy Days on the hip with the blacked out ski,
Yeah.
right? Because he
Exactly.
was just done.
Exactly.
And so, like, I'm just trying to think about all the shots that people had with blacked out ski. Yeah,
Yeah.
very
There's
cute.
if my mind, I haven't seen Happy Days for a while, but there's a step down in Whistler that I do like a cab 5 off, and I think I have the black skis on in that one. There's probably a couple of shots in Happy Days with the black skis.
That's so wicked. Then you're probably
Um,
the only guy with the backcountry black ski that has shots in movies because all the other shots are off the park black ski.
yeah, that was like
Fun
around
facts.
Hood. Yeah, but yeah. So anyway, K2, they never really cared about me. I was just like making so much noise, they had to do something with me, and they somehow like inherited me, and I wanted to quit so bad. I was trying to quit like so much, and eventually I just quit. I just straight up quit with no other option. I was like, whatever, forget you guys. You're lame.
So did you have anything else that came on the table other than K2 and Oakley at this time after 3 years of kind of dominating as a youth?
No, not really. No. I never really had like any no, I didn't have any great offers or anything.
That's crazy, right? Because if you really look at it, beside all the guys, you were beside Julian and JP, and you know, like the guys that like, I mean, fuck, dude, you were seeing JP in 2001 with Club Med on his head. You know, like there was levels of shit that it was like kind of like, whoa, you're like my mom and dad's wealth combined times 4. And like even JF, right? JF's taking that taxi cab. At that time, I think he was making 120 from Rip Curl. I think he was making 150 from Solomon Skis Boots Bindings. I think he was making 100 from Oakley.
I know.
You know, so like it's just fun to see the like who your circle was. Yeah. And then to realize what you had and stuff going on. There was no talking to understand it or visual presence.
Yeah. So no.
What was my question? You got only another hour and 10 minutes, right?
No, my plans changed, so I can sort of like push in later if it works better for you guys.
Oh, fuck yeah. So I think where we're at right now, we're about to hit Armada. I think I would like to ask you guys for my official 6-minute halftime show because I can't smoke inside. Normally I smoke 3 doobies to 4 doobies an hour during
What happened? You changed your background?
Yeah, I've moved.
I watched.
I apologize. Like,
no, you're good. You switched it up because I watched a show. I watched a show with you, and you had like the setup of the wall, and I was like, "That's a curated collection. Like, this is all very intentional." And then you have the white wall, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
No, I moved, and so I'm in an apartment, and then I can't smoke, and then like the funnest thing I'll tell you before I left. Like, so when I do stuff, I do events with Phil Casabon and shit, and like go out in some public places and skiing. Yeah. Every kid only knows me that they're like, yo, Iberg, how many DPHs? Doobies per hour. DP. And because of whatever I do. And so like it's hilarious because they don't know I ever made ski movies or did anything else in life. All they know is I talk about skiing and smoke fucking a million doobies. So it kind of like turns my new alter ego. But give me 6 minutes, guys, and then we'll come back and then we're at awesome 2003-6. But Ethan, talk more, man. Maybe learn some things while I'm gone.
I am learning. I'm learning quite a bit. Which episode did you watch of our show? Do you remember? Ahmed.
Did you hear me? Ahmed. Yeah. Because I was like, well, but I pay attention, so I was like, well, I'm going to listen to some stuff, and I actually listened to your podcast before, the 2-planker one.
Oh, awesome!
I didn't even know that was you. So I don't know what I was listening to, but I listened to a bunch of your episodes.
Oh, that's awesome!
I love podcasts, and I really am like an auditory learner, and a lot of the work I do sometimes is a bit like digital dish digging, you know? Yeah. So often I can like just plug in a podcast and like zone out and just like do it. So I can't recall which ones I listened to with you, but they were like earlier episodes. I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
It felt very raw, like at the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know anything at the beginning. I was probably 22 when I first did that.
Yeah, it's great though. It's the way I love it. I'm like I get like really jazzed on people who like just learn in public and just go for it. And it's like it's so powerful just to try and over and over and over again. And I mean it's dope, man.
That's so sick. Yeah, I've always wanted to interview guys your generation. And when I was doing my own show, and then I never had like the knowledge to be able to do it, and the research was hard. So then when after I interviewed Iber, and he's like, "Hey, let's do a show together," I was like, "Okay, I'm down to do one," because he wants to talk to the young guys, but I want to talk to the older guys so I can learn something new.
Yeah.
So
Older
that's how it came together.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's really cool. And cool. So do you obviously do you do more than your podcasting network? Like
Yeah. I have a full-time job, so I do logistic travel around and a lot of college football stuff right now. So I travel most weeks and do this on the side.
That's right. So that's why you're in LA?
Yeah, I mean, I could live wherever I want. So my girlfriend's from Long Beach, yes, and they just fly me to work. So I could, live anywhere in the country. And after living in the van for a while, we decided that this was the area we wanted to be.
Yeah. Ethan, are you good if I make a coffee really quick?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna fill up a drink as well.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh shit, Tony.
Yeah, buddy.
Quebec, man. I lived in Stoneham the month of June.
You should have called me.
I should have. I was doing some soul searching.
That's okay. I get it. I really do.
Land gave me.
It's the way it is.
I fucking just sat there, didn't do shit. Just fucking went for walks every day. It was great.
It's not a bad place to be. To go for walks.
I was so bummed, dude. His condo is like he doesn't have curtains on the windows, and it's right on the road, like the main road, like when you head into the area. Yeah. And then it was like, dude, the road was busier than a suburb.
Yeah.
And so it was the loudest thing, and I felt like I was on display every day for a month, and I'm like, I've never been so grateful in my life, but I hate this.
Yeah.
Like some animal in a zoo.
And are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing well, man. Everyone's healthy on my end. My kids started school yesterday. They're like,
where are you?
I'm in Minnesota.
Okay, cool. So, I thought you were in Europe for a minute.
I was in Denmark till 2018, and then came over here with the family, and then I think I'm probably going to be in a foreign land here within the next like half a year or so. I don't know where I'm going to be yet, though.
Okay.
We'll see. Hell yeah, Ethan. So we are at 2002. Happy days. K2's falling apart. Fucking Oakley's there, just providing the dream. You're like an 18-year-old, 19. You've been at this shit for fucking 4 years. And now all of a sudden, 2002, 2003. When I look at this year, I go, holy shit, this must be the year for you, right? So I see like all of a sudden, like you're on the Armada team, right? Like and we'll get into this stuff. But then also, I believe 2003, is that the year Joystick started?
I probably started in that year. Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
I feel like you started Joystick and that I bring this up because that's your relation to Ethan's generation, right?
I know.
Model skis that are coming out under Joystick this year. And so like it's a very core thing in our sport. And so I want to bring that up because you're at a position where you're seeing people not really give a fuck about what you're doing. You're surrounded by people that are creative. Julian, JP working on Armada. I'm guessing that's how you're on the ski right away from how they introduced me to you. And then you say, wow, what's the industry missing? As a 19-year-old, I'm going to start a fucking pole company.
Yeah,
so exactly. I guess I want to get into first before Armada is I want to get into Joystick. So I want to get like how as a youth you are thinking I want to start a company first of all, and then why you picked that kind of company at a young person's age, because you're not making money at this time. So it's not like you're making money from the ski industry to reinvest in it. You're trying to create something to make sure the creation is continuing. So why? Yeah. So tell me about. I'd like to hear your Joystick origins.
Joystick.
I know nothing.
I just want to throw this in. This is like the exact type of short story that I like to have on the show. So if you could just tell us, the impetus for it, and then just everything about starting it up, because this is a huge part of the sport. And I think it's probably the only backstory for a pole company that anyone gives a shit about. So I'm stoked that we could just get it all on.
Yeah, all on record. Yeah. Well, Joystick was pretty simple, right? I was surrounded by people who were always making stuff. It was like hyper. I was actually reflecting on this the other day where everyone and everything around us at that time was so creative, and people were making just stuff like all the time, where there was like films, like UP1, like anything. Like people were just like cranking out
magazines.
High North,
even streetwear companies, like Sublux, I think started in 2002 or 3.
Exactly, like Julien was editing a magazine with Camille. They were making a Camille in Dubski. I think it was called. Was it called Dubski?
No, it's not like not ski time. Whiskey.
Dub. That's why the W. Yes, exactly. So like everyone was just doing stuff, making stuff. So the ski pole thing was crazy. You guys have to remember like how bad the graphics were, how ugly everything was. Like it was just like really, really quite bad. So that was like the most glaring opportunity for me to build something or to make something. And it was just like obvious. It was like you have to do this thing, because I couldn't get a ski. Like obviously I wasn't looking for a ski pole sponsor first of all, and then I was on the sponsors I had. I was like, what am I going to get? Like a pair of poles from Scott or something? Like just
I want to put
ugly.
it in perspective too for Ethan. Like the Phils had a 3 Phils Pro model in 2001 and 2002 from Goody. So as a skier and talking about things you can create, you knew these options were out there, or what option did not exist for you. Same reason Armada started. When an option doesn't exist, you say, how can I create it? I just think that might be your kind of new reason. If no one's going to sponsor you, why not make it?
Yeah. And I like went into a shop, I'll never forget, and I like bought a pair of ski poles, and they were like so ugly. The choice was so bad. And I was like, okay, that's it. Like I'm starting this like now. So that was like kind of it. Like I just started making ski poles, like easiest thing in the world to make, right? Like,
how do you start doing it? Because right now it's easy, right? If I want to go on, I'd go to Alibaba, the type ski pole.
Yeah.
I could Google and find out who the manufacturers are for any ski pole I like, right? So I could even take a picture of an atomic ski pole, find out who the manufacturer is in 2 seconds, and then contact them. In 2002, as a fucking 19-year-old youth from Canada, how the fuck do you figure out how to source
ski poles with no internet and stuff? And just through talking to people, and then talking to Armada, talking to whomever I could, like as many people as I could.
But you're only talking to Armada as a startup. They're in the same startup phase as you. You're only a couple months behind. So when you're talking about
no, but like everyone was just nice to help, and I ended up to find a factory, and that's it. Like, so it wasn't like Google searching or anything. It was just like network, right? Old school.
So what did you end up using to make it happen? Like what factory and like what?
Who gave you the link to the factory? I want to know.
Who was the plug? I think it was like Hans actually. He told me to work for.
So this is why I asked, because like it's interesting to me. Was Armada already making poles and they gave you the plug and then you were making poles? Or because that's why I'm interested.
Because I think there was a moment where I was making poles, Joystick was going, and then they came in after and made poles.
And I want to get into that.
I was really bummed about it.
When you came on the team, and we'll get into this after Joystick, I looked at Armada as how they had a thing called, like in snowboarding, like 4-star distribution, which was Forum, Special Blend, Dub, and one other brand. So
Yeah.
when you got brought on as an AM team member, I remember thinking and being like, yo, what if our motto was like 4-star distribution and future athletes that come on the program that aren't owners could start a company that could be under the same distribution element as
umbrella.
Armada.
Yeah.
So I was always curious on that story because I always looked at that was going to be your in and your payday using same distribution with Armada for your company. So that was the only reason I wanted to kind of know who your plug was.
Yeah. So I don't know but the joystick thing was like it was just obvious. It was obvious it was the move, and it was obvious it was the thing to do. And then there was just like so much stuff that's so basic now that was like revolutionary at the time. Like,
because think about this, Ethan. Like, if no one has a pole sponsor, and Anthony can create it, that means everyone's going to take a pair of his poles for free for marketing.
I mean, Sammy still skis on them. It's crazy.
No way, the checkers.
Yeah. Sammy's still like rocking them. I always like watch his videos, and I'm like, man, he's still riding joysticks. Like, that's so crazy.
So other than the concept of like a pole that was cool, like what else was revolutionary? Do you think about it?
Nothing.
Well, did you guys add like anything?
No.
It was just like a niche. Poles were stupid.
Yeah.
Like poles had no point. Yeah. No one cared about saying this is my pole. So when you don't have pride behind something, why do you want to support it? But once you're proud of your product, everyone wants to support it. So, I mean, like when you look at Armada, like why is it different? Well, it's different because the guys are committed to like creating something.
Absolutely.
Like, he's still apart, dude. Like the only thing that was dope about Armada was they remade a Rosignol ski and made cool graphics and said, hey, look at the cool team that loves this shit.
Yeah.
Was the checkerboard print from the beginning?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was like literally that's me learning Illustrator and checkerboard print. Like that's one of the first things I ever made in Illustrator. I was like, all right, here we go. They like, I need to send it to the factory. Like, let's send that off. Joystick was just like total exploration. And
how do you do this when you're not being paid? So if I'm putting in my head 2003 and no one's giving you enough money to survive really still, like how do you like convince yourself to make investments?
Yeah, right. Crazy. Who does that?
Everyone when we're young, but like I get it. I made movies.
But the MOQs weren't high. They weren't particularly high. I remember it was like 300 or 600, like low MOQs. We actually sold shit. Like shops were buying it. Like it was like we had a website. People bought stuff. Like it was so interesting. Like there was no Shopify.
First year, were you in the Armada booth at SIA as a brand, or did you have your own booth?
First year.
So like when you were selling to the industry, were you in Vegas?
Yeah, but I was going like as an athlete, right? So then I had like just like shit to show people like on the side, like hustling, you know, like, hey, check out my poles. Like, you want to buy some? But I didn't have a booth for the first bit, and then eventually I got a booth, and we had a booth, and we were doing like pre-bookings and everything.
Because also, Ethan, understand the first year in Vegas, right? We had those go-karts that we ran into people and had the mustache party. Like. All the team was at the biggest trade show for Armada, and then everyone wanted to be at Armada because there was snowboarding that was cool and nothing cool in skiing except Armada. So then Anthony had access to all these people that came to the fucking booth every day to just have conversation, as did I, as did anyone. You know, because we could talk about what we were creating. I was making movies. Anthony's making poles. But we're the coolest motherfuckers you ever met because we have a mustache and drinking beers and part of our Armada. So then, like, we're a little more interesting.
And skiing was a wasteland at that time too. Like there was nothing, you know. So it was.
So the investment wasn't that big, and then
No,
you do it.
investment wasn't big, and it was actually like working. It actually worked. So it was like pretty low key, you know. And then it sort of sold. So that was cool. It wasn't like a big deal.
So we're at the same time period, so we should probably start Armada. So how's Armada coming? My always dream was to always like have interview with every person that was part of Armada from the beginning, like O'Connell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like whoever, and I'd sit down and do an interview with them and be like, tell me your story.
Yeah. Yeah. How
It'd
do
be
you
so
see?
fun because everyone would have a different origin story for the brand. And
Of
I
course.
think I would love to hear what your origin story is, how it was
Yeah,
presented to you, how it came about, how you decided it was a good idea for you, and then where it went from there. So I'd love to hear your story from your mouth on how you became a part of Armada.
Yeah, that's interesting because I know that like I don't know how much you talk about it or the Three Phils did, but like there's like the Three Phils didn't do it, right? Like everyone kind of knows that. I don't know.
Well, it was LaRose and
People-
Balan. So originally,
But-
I mean, and Yoon was there before Tanner, right? So
Yeah,
Yoon was there before Tanner for a year almost. Yoon's parents told him like, "Hey, don't be part of this. It's
Don't
time
do
to get
it.
paid."
I know.
LaRose and Balan, that's why we had the AR7 with the first graphics because they were 6 and 7. And then they went to Dina Star because Dina Star finally offered to pay them because they never got paid like the other guys did with Solomon. So they got the opportunity for pro models. So like different things moved and then Tanner came in. But I always like from my side, I always knew that you were like a cosign from JP and Julian. So I always worked with JP and Julian since day one. And whatever they said was a go to me, you know, even the JF thing. So it's like JP brought JF on. He's like, even if he doesn't ski, he's good for the sport. And then like, you know, like, and we all knew it. And that's how we did it.
Yeah.
And I mean, shit, the guy didn't even show up to our first team shoot and we had to photo shoot him in it. But like, I'm curious on you. Like, how does it get approached? Does JP Julian come to you? Like, how?
Well, no, okay, so it wasn't like it was so much more informal than that. Like it was just like we were all living together in Whistler. So we were renting houses for the winters at that time. All of us were living together.
And this is during 1240. To put this in perspective, this is the year of Anthony filming 1242. Because it was fun as fuck. Like Tanner and I stayed at you guys' place a couple times, like during Easter and stuff. He missed his first flight to Alaska. Like I have good memories of being at your house. Like lots of memories.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm curious actually in 2003 when filming 1242, when does it first come on your radar? Or no, it came on before in fucking
Happy Days.
He has the Armada logo in his nameplate for Happy Days.
Yeah, you were the only one that was allowed that. Because even JF wasn't allowed the nameplate because of Solomon. So you had the first Armada logo beside your name in the history of our team.
Yeah.
So tell me when and where it comes.
Well, so that's the whole K2 story, right? So like I was skiing, I was killing it, it was going good, and I was just like getting kind of fucked by everyone. I was like, what is wrong? You know? And then I quit K2 and I just needed to make some like money, you know, or whatever. And I had I just quit because I was like, forget it. Like travel budget, like go fuck yourself. You know, like I just got like 14 pages in an issue of Freeze. Like that alone is worth like $100,000. Like, please, like do something. And so I had no sponsor and I was like trying to get a sponsor and those guys were starting Armada. And then they just like offered me like, do you want to like be part of this? Like, this is something like we want you to like do. And I was just keen. And then I was able to just start testing the skis and riding the skis. But it just came from JP and Julian essentially.
So
here's
a fun thing from my perspective, because I have your contract still. Right?
Yeah.
Like if you ever want to see it, the first one. My vault, you know, like your first year one, you know, and like, so I look at it. So obviously you got paid more, right? Then
Yeah.
K2, you got a salary.
Yeah, I got actually paid. Yeah.
Yeah. So
What was the starting salary?
5G?
I don't remember.
I think it was 5,000.
Was it?
So when I look at
5,000 US.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So
When I looked at it, so
Yeah.
to me, Anthony, like I was telling Ethan before we called, why you were so like just like how you were inspired by the forum and stuff, like forum team and snowboarding. I was as well when we started Armada. So like it was a big deal. Like when they said you were going to be on the team, and I said, "Yo, let's make him an AM." And so they were like, "What?" I'm like, "Yo, it'll make people talk about it." You know, like if he's been a pro, everyone views him as a pro for the last 2 fucking years. So if we put him on, like, and I wrote the whole formula of a pro team, an AM team, and a float team. And so like we did that and put you on it and even titled you the first year AM team member, right? So you're not technically a founder because you were the only guy who the first year didn't have ownership in, whatever that means, because it doesn't mean shit anyways later, right? You're a founder just like them, right? In a nutshell.
Yeah.
So you didn't get the ownership thing, you got a little money, and you're an AM. Did you ever think, were you ever bummed that you became an AM? Because I remember hearing so many people tell me that they're like, "Oh, he can't be an AM, he can't do that." And I'm like, no, it makes sense. Like, let's get him to that point. And then when, like, we'll make a big deal when he's a pro and give him a pro model and like make a celebration out of it. So I'm curious what your view was, because I had to fight a lot of people to teach them what the AM system was, why I wanted to create an icon out of you. And then when you do become a pro, we celebrate it.
Yeah. For me, it wasn't like a big deal. Like I just wanted to ski and ski good. In hindsight, I don't know if it was the right thing for my career. You know, I'm not sure. 6 of one, half a dozen is another. But what was I going to say there? On my final thought, I don't know. I don't think it's anything good or bad, to be totally honest.
But you didn't have a thought about it at the time, is my question. Because to me, I had to go through a lot to explain the team system I was trying to create. Right? And
it made sense. Like I got it. It was obvious to me. Like I understood everything.
Right? You saw Nate Bozong as an AM in the forum movie. And he fucking murdered it doper than the fucking forum team guys in the park. And you So
exactly. But I don't know. There's the thing for Armada that's weird for me is like I get written out of all the history.
Oh, I did too, dude. I was on the website for 10 years.
That way, but if you go on their website like today, it's like I'm written out, and it's like I don't understand why, and I'm like why are you like totally erasing me from ski history? Like, what's the deal? And I don't understand, and it's actually like kind of really deeply hurtful to me, and I'm very confused to this day, you know.
Dude, I was so bummed. Like in my career, like I had to have my first 5 years, like where one of our partners told everyone, even though I took care of them, that I wasn't part of it.
Yeah.
You know, and then like, I'd give them their skis and coach them and do whatever. And then all of a sudden I was taken off all website and stuff. And then my name didn't even show up on the company again until after I kind of left skiing.
Yeah.
You know, so like just so you know, I never understood it either. And it doesn't make sense, especially even the celebration of making this big movie. You know, like why certain legacies are left out of creation. So I don't understand it. And I can't give you any piece of advice because I used to lose sleep over it as a youth.
Oh yeah, I don't know. That's not. It's
just to back up. What you're saying, because I'm on the Armada website right now. 2002, Armada's established first athlete founded ski brand, original AR5. JP, Tanner, JF, Julian, and Boyd teamed up with photographer Chris O'Connell and videographer Eric Iberg.
That happened the last 2 years, dude.
What's even weirder. What's even weirder, right above it, is the first ad for Armada. And I'm
fucking in it.
Yeah, he's in it.
Exactly.
And we haven't even seen this yet.
But it's so
the Armada movie's dropping this fall, but your episode will air in December. So none of us have seen the Armada movie yet. But they're posting all this stuff. This is the same thing we talked about with Julian. They're posting all these like very heritage-esque posts about it, like, oh, rider founded, blah, blah, blah. And then every story is like, you guys got no money. You guys are getting left off for credit for founding the company. So what the fuck's going on with all this?
Here's the best write-off I thought of today. Do you know who the first big name is that won overall AFP World Championship of our sport for 3 years? For the first 3 years, our outerwear company started, courtesy of Anthony. Anyone?
Nope.
His name was Gus Kenworthy. And does anyone have memory that he was the first outerwear member of Armada? And then not only did he wear the outerwear, but then he dominated for 4 years over everyone. So
yeah.
I'm going to big up Gus Kenworthy here because whether it doesn't matter. It's just, I always believe people should get the credit that they brought to the sport or brought to a company or whatever. And Anthony was a huge part. I mean, even like from the pro models, right? Like where like you didn't get you got a pro model like year number 3, I think. And it was you were the first guy to bring athletic art to the company. Like I think it was your artwork. Yes. Anthony was the first guy with Armada that actually so JP and Julian was really loved to make the inner workings of the ski. JP just loved everything. He's just gonna fucking learn it all. And then and then he would just be like, oh, you like to paint? I like to paint. I'm gonna learn how to paint. This is fun. And then with Anthony, it was kind of like his art was actually the only self-representation of art on our skis. So there's never been a pro model in Armada history that was actually represented by the art of the athlete. The closest thing that we can relate today is Chris Ben Shetler, how he is actually the artist, or maybe an Eric Pollard. So Anthony is in a very unique category of Eric Pollards and Chris Ben Shetler of being an artistic person for the design of his outer ski. Pick up yourself on that one, man.
Thanks, man. Anyway, I don't know. It makes me sad that I'm just like sort of taken out of the story. And it's very dangerous too, because it's like it becomes truth, Like eventually if you keep repeating the same thing, and for sure Armada makes a team movie this year. And if they're telling stories and they cut me out, I'm definitely out of the story. You know what I mean? Like it's just weird.
Ibert, do you know if they're going to have any history storytelling elements in this movie, or is it just like a current team movie edit?
We'll find out.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, no.
So, I mean, the thing is, you can do anything, right? Like, I think their original storyline was fucking epic. And I think whatever they'll do, the public won't know. It's going to be an awesome movie, great scheme. But it's pretty dope. Ornata's a planet, right? And these guys were fucking taking a mission through the journey of skiing. And it was brought to you by these founders and stuff. It was great, man. I think, so the Armada story is I guess if we can use this platform, I won't go any more deeper because it's not my projects or anything. But there's so many dope people in Armada, whether it's Anthony that gets forgot about, whether it's Gus that gets forgot about, Greta still tells people she's part about it, but she dominated early phase. And if she didn't tell people, no one would know. TJ, another fucking great thing at the beginning. And it's just these things where it's the only reason Armada started was because of how dope individuals were, right? All these guys were so special. They were all doing so many more things than just being good at skiing. I mean, even let's go back right now. So if you guys are listening, UP1, go watch UP1. Have you ever seen this, Ethan?
No.
So UP1, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Anthony, is a video I think you and JP and Julian started made together, and Sven.
Yeah, but we had that 1 year we had so much footage, we had enough for 2 segments, and the ski movies were kind of boring at the time. They were really, really cookie cutter and song, athlete tricks.
It's sponsored me segments made into a movie, right? Like that's all.
Yeah, exactly. But then we wanted to do something like fun and funny and like enjoy it and whatever. And at the time, robot food came out. Do you know robot food, Ethan?
No.
It's like it's like but it's just a reaction to that.
So robot food in a nutshell, Ethan, so you can understand in the big ski picture, was an epic snowboard movie in 2003. And to me, the movie Homie that made with Awesomeness, What's Everyone's Teddy Bear Crisis, was an exact replica of robot food.
You think so?
Oh yeah, dude. The soundtrack is 20% the same. Only 2 years later.
Uh-huh.
And so
I never saw it that way. I saw the vibe of robot food as so different.
I did, and as a fan of I don't like to use the word a hater, but when I watched it, I always want to do it better. Okay, so when I saw fucking Teddy Bear Crisis, I'm like, yo, I already saw the snowboard movie 2 years ago. Get out of here.
Yeah, sure.
So that's, but point being is that it's a big movie, Ethan. Like if you can check out Robot, the snowboard movie, when that came out, it broke the mold in snowboarding as far as being.
Yeah. So they made 3 films. The one like Robot Food, then another one called Lame, and then another one called After Lame. And it basically like changed before it was always just like, song, snowboarding, that's it. And the same for skiing. And we were watching that movie like a bunch, and we just loved that it was more expressive and you actually like saw the athlete and you understood them a bit. And then we just wanted to make something like that. We didn't like take the template and copy the template or anything, but we were like, I think the word inspired is the correct word, but
you guys were
it's so cliche.
Is the word.
Yeah, but we were like,
that's why it was enjoyable, because like, dude, Robot Food was 16 millimeter.
Yeah.
So you guys were the first.
We were running around with our DV cams and like we were watching like the whiskey movies and like all the guys. My
point being is you were 16 millimeter generation, which is a curated image without sound that's soft focus and perfect. It's dreamy. And you were the first people that left the 16 millimeter world that said, here's reality and here's stupidness, not totally curated, even though it is. So that's what I want to give you your credit. Because when I watched like a UP1 as the second DVD in my Poor Boys movie that got put in, that movie that you guys got free in a disc beside a Poor Boys movie that had a $150,000 budget was equally enjoyable because you did something that no one else was doing. Even Berman on a digital platform did not create fun, retarded shit.
Yeah. But we just want to have fun and make it light and just laugh and like, I don't know, it was just like the fun stuff, right? Like everything was just, and we had footage. We had like extra footage, like just, it's crazy to think about it, but like there was like 2 video parts from a lot of us at that time. So I don't know.
There's just more because think about it. You're doing a whole year, right? So imagine, Ethan, you're on the road 8 months. Or just living your life 8 months, capturing, documenting. Even if you're home, you're thinking about getting shots for 3 minutes and 30 seconds at most. Right. Yeah. So now like you're doing that. That's dope, man. Like, all right, I have to outdo myself. Every shot is urban shots, 4 seconds, backcountry kickers, 11 seconds. All right. All I need is 30 shots in a year. Oh, weird. Yeah. But dude, you forgot about that. Maybe like 9 hours. And then when you're in the 16 millimeter phase, all of a sudden you're eliminating anything that's not happening without the 16 millimeter. So we had like any kid in the 16 millimeter generation from 2001, 2003, 99.9% of their life wasn't being portrayed. Yeah. Because we always had cameras. We all had a little DV camera. We all had a VX1000. We all had this. So we're all traveling. We're all doing dope ass shit. We're all fucking doing stupid shit. We're all doing this, but nothing other than 3 lifestyle shots and fucking 23 fucking action shots are being portrayed.
Yeah.
So it was like a super fun time period to be able to say, oh man, like our lives are pretty fun.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, that was fun. I love those movies. I think they're so special and they're so rad. But yeah,
So let's go back on. So
um,
you do UP1. So you have like two versions of UP1 that are coming out under Poor Boys. You now
yeah,
have silently moved because I took off from Armada, and then all of a sudden, like they didn't care about the AM formula anymore, and then you had a 2-page spread, and you were magically on the pro team. And then
yeah,
magically a year later, you had a pro model after a year on the pro team. And
yeah,
so now you're a super pro and you're
yeah,
fucking making all this shit. Like, what's making you stoked at this time? Like you're going through the cycles. Like, are you getting paid a bunch by Armada and Oakley? Like, are
yeah.
you a super pro in 2005? Like, what is life like for Anthony Boronowski as 1 year on the biggest ski team in the world, one
Yeah,
of the first members of Oakley Outerwear and Eyewear, and
yeah,
fucking putting out 4 years of fucking banger segments at age 21?
yeah. I mean, look, life's good. I wish I had the presence of mind to appreciate the ride more. You know, it, but there was a lot of pressure and there was a lot of stress. And, um, I remember when I stopped skiing professionally and I got a job, I was so like happy to just go to a job and not have to risk my life. Which was like a crazy thing to think about, like to risk your life to get paid to work. It's like wild when you like actually like back it out a couple steps. But to answer your question more directly, like I wish I appreciated it more. There was like a lot of pressure and like we were always on and it was just like in every aspect of your life, whether you were like skiing or partying or anything, like it was just like to the max. And it was good. Life was awesome.
So you
It
don't
was
think you
so cool.
appreciated that?
I think I appreciated it. I think I put too much pressure on myself. And I think it took away from the experience.
So was
Does
it
it make sense?
pressure or was it anger? So, and the reason why I asked
Uh,
that is because like my whole career in skiing, like previous to
yeah,
this podcast, and now that I'm an
yeah,
manager for Phil and Henrik, but like
yeah.
I was angry at shit. Like me and Tanner could sit down and be like, yo, fuck this shit, blah, 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 blah. And then,
Mm,
but we would finish our conversation by what are we going to do about it? So I
hmm.
never looked at myself as a hater. I just knew what I liked.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So that's exhausting as fuck.
Right.
Right? Like when you're just
Yeah.
like, you like, dude, like I'd hang out with the Phils. Fuck Dina Star. They don't like our fucking graphics. They don't fucking answer. Let's make a company. Like
Hmm,
that's
hmm.
that. I watched Degenerates at the beginning. I
Yeah,
watched it a million
yeah,
times a day. Yo, fuck that. I can make a better movie than that.
yeah, of
I never,
course.
I
Of
didn't even
course.
own a camera or fucking edit anything in my life.
Yeah,
My
never,
first
right?
opinion on the sport was, yo, this is ill as shit. Fuck that. I can do better. So
I'll
I'm
make a better movie.
curious, like that gets
Uh-huh.
exhausting for me. Was your exhaustion more because you were so involved? You create a company as a youth, you do
Yeah.
digging, you do stuff like you're not appreciated totally because you're trying to survive. And when you're trying to survive and pay a bill next month, you don't feel appreciated. So like,
Hmm.
what is it that's exhausting for you? Because like I'm watching a slow climb and I'm watching you still be young, but like, what's setting you back? What's pissing you off so much that you can't conquer? And
When
like,
I was young.
because you get a pro model, right? You have a
Yeah,
joystick
no.
company.
But
You're
I was stoked. I was
2007,
stoked.
like you
Yeah,
should be
yeah.
ill as fuck, but you probably make $20,000, right?
No, at that time I did okay. I was doing okay.
So
Like in the
let's go on that quick. So when you enter Armada as an AM, you're on
yeah.
Armada Oakley for a while, like what are you making as a 22-year-old 5 years deep in the sport that is in the biggest movies and has the biggest sponsors?
Yeah. I remember it was like 100 grand. Like everything
What?
went out.
Those would be
Yeah.
way lower
When
than
I
that. Wow.
Yeah,
no
well, fuck
when
what I just said.
I remember when I was doing my taxes, when I would like submit the form to the government it was 100, and it was like that for a bit. But that was like everyone. That was like Hestra. That was Whistler Blackcomb. That was Armada. That was Oakley. That was I don't know. I had some others. Evo.
But 100,000, man. You are like you probably make more than both your parents. I'm guessing, not combined, but individually.
Yeah, probably individually. Yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
I'm just looking at that.
My
like
dad.
as a young person,
my dad.
You know?
My dad's a geologist. My mom's a physiotherapist. It's not like it's good living. Don't get me wrong.
But $100,000 is a good living in
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, and that was like the best times for me at that time. But I mean, like for me, it was not like I was stoked. Like life was so good for me, but I just put like a lot of pressure on myself to like be the best, to win skier of the year, to, like when you're at work and your boss puts like unrealistic expectations for your division or your job or whatever, and you're never going to hit the goal. And it's like, it doesn't matter. Like if you sell like, I don't know, like 5 million of your category or whatever, like if you don't hit the goal that they put you for 10, you're always going to feel like shit. So I think that was like what I was doing to myself. And I didn't understand at the time, like that it's like also dope what you're doing. And you don't have to like win the X Games or video part of the year. And it's still dope. Like people still really appreciate what you're creating,
So you're saying you were just lost in the time period, say from 03 till whenever, of just trying to be better every day. Like other shit didn't matter. You just were never good enough and you could always do more.
Always. Yeah. Every day. Like every day. Like if it's October, you can be in the gym. And you know what I mean? Like there's always something more to be done. Like
and that's the nice part, Ethan. So you can know like that's what everyone thought. Like I would be sleeping on someone's couch in October in 2005 being like, yo, what the fuck am I creating this year?
Yeah.
And it would be so intense. Like, and that's a true comment. I'm in Lake Tahoe. I didn't decide I was going to move there. And then I'll be like, yo, I'm going to fucking Mount Hood and being with Kai to train him. And then I'm going to create this and film with Playhouse. And then I'm going to make a movie. But that's all made up in October while sleeping on someone's couch, not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. And so that's like, from a skier to a filmer, like that's just life because you knew you had an opportunity.
I want to put something in perspective as well. So I did the math. I found an inflation calculator. So $100,000 in 2004 is the equivalent to $171,000 today.
Holy shit.
I'm peeing on that note. 1 second.
And I think we did, we interviewed Tanner last season. I think he said just off a couple sponsors, he was making like $350 off of just two sponsors. So that's like $600,000 there off two sponsors in today's money.
But I know those other guys like made much more money than me. But I don't know, like if it was like, my parents let me do everything myself. Maybe I wasn't strategic enough, or I made some bad moves. But
well, I mean, it's
what it is.
At the end, it didn't. The ownership of Armada didn't matter at the end because nobody got any money for that. But I do have a question for you when Iberg gets back. Once Iberg's done, Pete.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think? Okay, now that Iberg's back, do you think that your amateur status at the time of the founding was the reason that you're left off for credit today, or do you think that there's some other reason? Like that even
on amateur status, he wasn't technically a founder. He didn't get shares in the company.
Yeah.
So that's what it all came down to.
Title AM. It's the idea of like, you have to understand, like even in the thing, it said like, for the first 10 years, it was like, and then 5 pro skiers and a professional photographer started the company. And then they hired Tanner's brother and Hans. And then Eric Iberg came out later. That was the story for the first 10 years on the goddamn website. So it's just a matter, he didn't have ownership, so they didn't have to put his name on the story.
And why didn't you have ownership? I think that's the piece of the puzzle I'm missing.
Because it was already kind of done, right?
JP and Julian came along.
Brought it up to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like happening. I was leaving K2, that was obvious. So then it was like who like I was gonna find another sponsor, whether it was like whomever, and we just did it.
It's like those guys built the ship and you got on with them as they were leaving shore.
But Ethan,
Exactly.
put in perspective,
That's-
I just found out there was another owner I forgot about. Like, dude, this guy's running for a political position in Aspen, Colorado, and everything that he runs off of is he's a co-founder of Armada. And then
Who's
I
this?
just saw it and I sent it to Strokes. I'm like, yo, who the fuck is this? And he's like, oh yeah, don't you remember that's the guy that did all the accounting for you guys? He had ownership too. And I'm like, yo, so he's running for political office in Aspen as a co-founder of Armada? Wicked.
What's his name?
I'll send it to you when this is over, but I forgot. Like I remembered after.
Crazy.
But
Okay.
he had as much ownership as me.
Yeah.
I found it. Alex Keloff,
There he is.
running for U.S. Congress.
Co-founder, Armada.
Co-founder of Armada.
But I know Alex's name. He's like friends with all those dudes, like Strokes and
No, like that you were there, but I'm saying Alec, point being is like it's interesting.
But I didn't even know he was part of it.
Yeah, I only remember like I
Crazy.
think that's how they got him to do the accounting or numbers for free, is give him some, because Johnny DeCesare was an owner as well, right? That's why Armada got free fucking sponsorship in his movie when you had some 100,000.
Anthony, you just got to start putting it like in your email
Nothing.
tag and on your Instagram bio. Just throw it in there. You gotta wage a counter war against the erasure. You just gotta start putting it on everything.
I know it's true. Actually, it's true. It's like it's up to me. I should just, if I want to do something about it. You're totally right, Ethan. It's like, shut the fuck up and do something about it.
Well, especially like seeing this guy like running for Congress, putting it on there. It's like, okay, well, anyone can do it.
Yeah, like come on.
No, and the co-founder thing is just like, it doesn't matter, you know? Like it really doesn't. Like the ownership doesn't matter. Like you talk to Tanner about it, like no one cares. Like I don't know. Like even Anthony. Like think about what Anthony did for outerwear. Like just
let's talk about. I want to talk about that.
Like outerwear was a bigger investment than the ski company. So when a new investment had to happen for outerwear and Anthony's involvement in so Anthony was kind of like what Julian was for the technical ski, right? So now all of a sudden Anthony comes involved in technical outerwear and he's doing all this technical shit, but he's not a founder anymore, but he is an outerwear. In outerwear, Anthony's a complete founder.
Yeah, no, I don't know, but they were running outerwear a bit before I came to, right, Eric?
I don't know. I'm asking you right now to get it all clear.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what happened. So basically, I stopped skiing. I don't know when it was, like 09, 10, around there.
No,
Something
a little
like
later,
that.
because you had a pro model through 2012, dude.
Surface?
No, a pro model Armada ski. I think your last
Armada?
one was winter 2012.
Okay, so then I went to Surface after that, and I did a bunch of like skiing on Surface.
Surface had skis at that time?
I don't know.
When did Surface
I'm so
start
bad
as
at
a
the
ski company?
dates.
Wait,
But basically, after I left Armada, I skied on Surface for a minute, and then I made that like little edit that's on like that's on YouTube, that like with the Cab 7 on the big drop and stuff like that.
What was Surface that is called? Hot something? Hot pancakes?
No, Hot Lunch. That's a movie we made for your Joystick.
Okay.
But I was a skiing Armada at that time. But that was interesting for us. If you think about it in hindsight, like to give away a movie for free on the internet at that time was like revolutionary. That was like no one was doing that. But yeah. So anyway, what are we?
Well, so we have a merging of timelines right now. So we got to sort some of the stuff.
Yeah.
So we kind of got how you got onto Armada. We're talking about how you founded Joystick. So at the same time as you're involved in Armada, are you also like the team manager for Joystick and running that whole business and making movies?
Right, everything. Okay, everything. Yeah.
So let's touch on that for a second.
Was Joystick only a pole company for how long?
Well, poles and gloves, and that's it.
Okay.
We made some other like random stuff like beanies or whatever, but that stuff doesn't count really, you know. But yeah. So anyway, so
So are you guys
timeline.
making? You said you made a joystick movie.
Yeah, we made a movie. There's like a movie about a road trip. So I basically took like not the but the idea of P1, and we filmed a road trip from Whistler to Mammoth, and I just like, and we just filmed each other, just raw, like no filmer. So we were just like passing the camera back and forth,
And who's the we?
and me, Blake Nyman, Jordan Selden, and another guy named Paco. What's Paco's last name?
Go from Spain?
It starts with a G. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Dudes
big
with
up.
nicknames like that, they usually just have one name.
No, not that not that Paco, not the Paco you're thinking about. The big dude Paco, like friends of Jaime, that you're thinking of right now.
I only know one Paco from Spain
Oh,
that skied out of
we're breaking
Andorra a bunch in
Because-
2000s.
Yeah, no, wrong Paco. The Paco I'm thinking about, he's a French kid, and he's like really French. But this Paco, his last name starts with a G, but he's literally the most talented skier I ever seen. Like on the level of Cousin, like insanity. He could have done anything he wanted, and I don't say that like much about many
What
skiers.
happened to him?
I don't know. He just didn't want to do it. But literally the kid was like on fire. He was so lazy. He was like a replica of Cousin. And like literally when he would decide to go skiing on this trip, I would like get the camera and I would just film. And I would film like everything. I'd never seen a kid ski like that before. And I don't think I've ever seen someone ski like that again. It's like he would shred like every bump, every like little like thing, every fence. Like he was such a good skier.
So how
like,
do you learn about him if he's French?
He's on surface, and those guys knew about him.
Okay.
And then I saw him ski like once, and I was like, "Who's this kid? Like, you need to be on Joystick." So I put him on Joystick after skiing like one run with him. He was that good. And then that year for that movie, he came and he just came for the trip, and we did like that road trip, all of us together. And
When did
anyway, so
Surface start?
like I don't know, 04, 05, around there.
Really?
They were there
around
for
that
ever.
fucking long?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Damn.
For sure. Yeah.
Blake Nyman. So Blake Nyman was the first Surface guy, right? Like that's what I think of when I think of Surface. Is Blake?
Yeah, Blake and Jordan.
Okay.
And then I don't know. I think there was a couple other people on there.
What was the relationship between Surface and Joystick? Because now they're very closely tied together. Was it always that way?
No. So how did that happen? When I left Armada, they bought Joystick, and I signed with Surface.
Okay, so now this timeline's starting to make more sense. So
I want to know why you left Armada.
exactly? Why did you leave Armada? Because that's the next step in the story.
Because they didn't want to pay me. They
And
made
what
me
year
like
is
the
this?
worst. I don't know, 11 or something.
Okay,
But
so
they made me
I gotta
they
go back
made me-
quick because one of my questions from my people was Phil Casabon wanted to know why the fuck you went so hard in like 10 or something. That movie. Like he wasn't positive if that was the movie or not, but he knew it was the time period. So he was confused. He's like, yo, I don't get it. As a kid that was watching an Armada kid. Like, so I'm wondering how this fits in. And what year was this segment? And is it 10, the Poor Boys movie that you had? So I'm curious, like when you go and dominate, so I'm going to guess after that, maybe some not respect is coming in for financial payment. But like, how does someone not want it? Did you ever get paid by Armada well? Because I mean, you got paid at the beginning, but did you ever get a contract that was like pro skier? Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So they just didn't want to
Yeah.
pay you at some. Is this one outerwear
But
started?
not like didn't want to pay me, but like they wanted to pay Gus, they wanted to pay Jakob, they wanted to pay TJ, and they just didn't want to pay me. So
No, I
they
get
made me
it.
a
Like,
whole
so I see that time period. So they just
yeah.
said, no, we're not paying you what we paid you last year.
Yeah, I mean they cut my contract in 1/5, and we're like,
And this was
here,
after you had 4 years of a pro model.
yeah, after everything, yeah,
Okay, because that's what's interesting to me, right? Like if you invest in a pro model, right? Like, so it's interesting for me to see pro models disappear because a pro model means you're iconic and you're holding on to tell the story of why that person is great. And that's why you have a pro model, right? And if the person keeps producing, well, you have a legacy and a catalog to say that's why the person is still touring if they were musical artists. I'm just always curious why you get rid of someone or how it works or what the reason is, because you weren't less productive, were you?
it was a little bit less productive, but it was just like a little bit situational as well. And then I heard that they like did like a survey to their reps, and they're like, who sells product, and they like put all the names, and I was like last on the list. I'm like, yeah, cool, like what a way.
It is kind of unfair though if you're talking this time period, because I know 08, 09 there was a third reinvestment because the original investors already did a second reinvestment, and then there was a third investment because of outerwear, and that was when like Schneider came on board as a new CEO and stuff like that. So it was 100% new company. One outerwear.
But they also like got rid of Julian at this time, like the year before they kicked Julian out. Like,
well, they did the same thing where they reduced his salary now.
I
think that's what
I don't know.
Oh, they just got rid of him. So, well, this is a quick question I have. So when they, just business wise, when they come to you and they're like, okay, you could stay on the team, but you're going for 1/5 of the salary, is that them trying to punk you and see if they can keep you for cheap, or is that them making you an offer so low that they know you're going to leave?
No, I think look, it's business, right? So it's like it's just business. It's like the way I see it now as an adult is they're just choosing to invest in other people. They want to invest in TJ, they want to invest in Gus, and they want
but instead of just standing up and be like, all right, you're dropped, they can say shorthand, we offered him a contract, but we couldn't come to an agreement. But
no, because the guy who I did my contract with is like a friend, and I still consider him a close friend, So I think he's just doing what he could. And
so they would have kept you if you agreed. They would have wanted to keep you if you agreed.
He was pissed. He was pissed I left. Like mad, and I was equally mad at them. But it's just like when it comes down to business, it's like you choose where you're going to invest, right? And
those guys are, let's be straight, where TJ's status was like, dude, Corrupt was offering him like, I think in 2009-10, like $150,000. Where Jakob was like first guy doing doubles, like he was talking shit on Yoon at Yoon's event in 2007.
That's
like,
crazy.
You Yoon, I'm the illest. You're like, like shit was big.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what happened, and it's like I don't know. It's just the story, right?
So when you decided not to re-sign with them, like you knew Surface was on the table?
No, I had always been like friends with the Surface guys, and then so I just called them, and it was done in a week.
And are you still Oakley at this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was still on Oakley at that time. So then at that time, that was just sort of like, I don't know. For me, I really, at that point, getting fired from Armada, it really was hard. And I kind of lost my way like completely with skiing at that point. And I was just like, I was so done and so burned out. And well, I was just like, forget it, I'm out of here. And so I skied a couple more years on surface, and then I got a job at Lululemon, and I did design. So,
Whoa.
yeah,
Lemon.
yeah,
Such a
Lululemon.
mean company.
And that was dope for me because like I was able to transition out of being a skier and into like the next phase of my life, and I was like so happy about that, like just to have a second chapter, which was I'm still grateful for that opportunity at Lululemon. Absolutely.
So I got to go back because I don't think I think I talked too much after, but Phil's question was like, what
Yeah,
made you go so hard for fucking X or whatever movie? As a kid,
it
that
was
was
just
senior segment and say, wow, you went to the next level.
yeah. I just think I had like a good year. I had good support. I had good opportunities. I think that's the thing that people don't understand a lot about like film skiers is like you probably don't have the support, or at least for someone like me. Like I didn't have the support all the time to get filmed like all the time, and I've just probably had more opportunity to film more often, and I probably had more like chance, and then the crew was probably better, and that's it. It's not overly complicated. Like I could have done a segment like that like all the time, but I just sort of like T had it figured out with you. You guys were always together. You always filmed. Like there was always like opportunity. So
Yeah. No, I think the crew
I, th-
thing
I
is
think
vital, man. And I'm gonna just bring that up
yeah,
now. Like, it's even if I didn't at Tanner at the beginning, I did, but it was more of like how I explained to Phil even today. It's more of the idea of how do we get a camera on a person, and then how do we
yeah,
edit a person? And so like my whole life with the people I work with is how do I get a camera on you? How do I edit you? How do you have your input? How do I make a finish line? And then how do we execute? And then as long as I have a finish line, whoever was working with me is like, no way, you're going to bring me to a finish line. I'm like, hell yeah, XYZ, let's go.
yeah,
So
sure,
no, it's a big deal, man. The crew, like especially with filming, because now like I feel so bad for the young kids. Do you know like if a young kid goes out and films like at his local park, there'll be some kid with a GoPro or a camera. And then
yeah,
like at the end of the day, the kid will be like, can I see my footage? They're like, dude, I paid for this camera. I paid for my fucking lift ticket. Like, you want your footage? You got to pay me. So now the up and comer filmers are fucking trying to charge for their shots in a fucking terrain park. And then I talk to kids who are the best in the world that have big sponsors. And then they talk about some kid, I don't even know their fucking name. And they're like, dude, pay me for my shots. And I'm like, you just want to make an edit on YouTube and the kid wants to charge you? Yo, fuck that kid. And so now, for the last 6-7 years, we have filmers that have as big a name as skiers.
Yeah, sure.
Filmers, dude. What if Tom Erickson was as ill as you in 2001? How gay would that have been? I love Tom Erickson, but yo, he should not have had sex.
Yeah, sure. You're right.
I say that because, dude, like, if you're listening to this, everyone has a role. Like, man, maybe someone can fill up the gas. Maybe someone can drive the car. Maybe someone can film. Maybe someone can edit.
No, you're right. Yeah.
And unless you understand everyone has a fucking role, the second you think you're doper than someone, cameraman, skier, editor, filmer, like, yo, man, like, you ain't gonna create shit because we need a team to make awesome shit.
Yeah, absolutely. You're totally right. And
so let's talk about this transition. So you're doing soft goods for Armada, and then you transitioned that into a real world job outside of skiing. That's kind of cool.
No. I wasn't doing soft goods for Armada. I was skiing. Yeah. And then I essentially just like stopped at one point, and I went to Lululemon, and then Armada asked me to go to work for them. So after a couple of years at Lululemon, I went to Armada.
So you left and then came back.
Yeah, exactly.
That's even weirder.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like it's just life. You just get over it.
So when you come back, right? So you got a full-time job at Lululemon, right?
Doing what with Lululemon exactly?
Just on a men's design team.
Nice.
So
and so they're out of Vancouver, correct?
Yeah, Correct.
Okay, so you were able
Exactly.
to go in, you do your job. Now Armada's like, yo, you want to come get a job? How do they even match something that's local? Do you have to move to California? Do you?
Yeah. So I moved to Newport Beach, and that was great too. That was awesome. That was really, really fun. It was really cool. I left. Yeah, I left Lulu. Went to Armada. Worked on the men's program. Eventually, like moved to Utah with Armada, and then eventually, sort of, that was when Armada essentially went bankrupt, and they were bought by Almer. And kind of like there was no one for a while, so I ended up to take care of like the whole apparel program for a while there. Me and one other girl, which was that was crazy to be in the office during
Was
those
this
times.
Jackie? Was she still around?
No, Jackie was gone. Like sort of the head of apparel was gone, and it was just me and this one girl named Lauren, who's her job title was a developer, but she's super smart person, really capable human, and basically like she was keeping the whole program going, which was like so impressive that the thing stayed on the tracks. Yeah, so that was sort of that next phase, which was
So you were there after everyone else was gone.
Yeah.
That must have been really.
But
like,
I'm a
almost.
loyal person, like so.
And also, he was a foreigner stuck in a foreign place with not another option to get out.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh no, but I could always go home. I could have always got a job.
I know, but when you love something and you work on something every day, why do you want to see it die?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you have a person like Hans, who's amazing, who maybe should have left it 8 million times. But why would you leave it if that's what you're trying to make stay alive? I don't know. It's just something when you're part of something, you don't you do stupid shit. But it's like if you have a wife and you're like, let me just keep trying to make this work.
Well, I don't even think it's necessarily stupid that he stayed. I'm just saying that it's like you work somewhere and then everybody gets fired and you're the last guy there.
Stupid might be a bad word, but it is stupid. I think is a great word when you're blinded by reality. I'm stupid to make a ski movie. If I would have made a business plan for my first ski movie or any ski movie, it's the worst financial decision you ever could make.
Yeah.
Okay? So when you get passionate about creating things, and the only reason you should, and the only reason they'll be successful ever is not because ones and zeros, right? So you're blinded by why you want to stick around.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
you wouldn't do that for a company you're not passionate about or a sport you're not passionate about.
Exactly. I don't think it was stupid to be there or anything. It's like very dope to work, and rarely do you get such a beautiful chance to work on something you care so deeply about. It's amazing. It's amazing to have that chance in life and to really care deeply, and it's wonderful. It's really rad.
And I think Hans says it great. I'll always ask him, how do you go through that shit? And he's like, well, we can look at it because there's so much turmoil, right, with athletes and stuff. And he's like, we can look at it like we could have went out of business in 2008, 2012, 2016, or we could go, wow, this all sucks, but we're still a fucking company that a handful of individuals started. So it's fun to listen to someone that has to be the leader of a ship. And you're like, well, that ship's not sunk, so we ain't dead.
Exactly. And you keep fighting. It's also why, like, when, I get fired from Armada and I go back, it's like, it just happens. It's just stuff, it's not like forever. Like, like Camille, who started Black Crows, is not there anymore. It's like, and he's still going to wear Black Crows. He's going to still ski Black Crows. It's just kind of happens. I don't know. It's just part of it.
Yeah. How did you exit Joystick?
Oh, it was when I went to Surface. It was part of the deal. They bought Joystick.
Okay, so they just wrapped that up.
Yeah, it was like a package deal. Yeah.
Was it a good payday?
That was cool. No, No, much like everything in my life.
Like, we got fucking $1,000 for you. You can ride for us, and we'll give you some product.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. It was fine. Like, to be totally frank, like I made like a little YouTube edit like after that happened because I was so pissed at Armada. It's still on YouTube, I think, somewhere. That I'm still to this day like super proud of it. It's some of my best skiing, and that was just basically like a fuck you to Hans. And he even admitted
What video is this?
Like,
Because I watched all these videos last night, so you know.
oh, it's on YouTube. It's just
No,
like
I know, but what video is this? Is right after you left Armada as an athlete?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the trip from Whistler to California.
No, it's a little edit that I put out with Pollard. It's like through Nimbus, but it's just like a little YouTube edit. It's like 90 seconds long.
Yep.
And it's just fucking hammers. And I watch kids edits these days and I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's kind of like I'm like, whatever. But anyway.
So Nimbus put it out.
It's called.
I'm just saying, if I'm on YouTube, am I looking Nimbus channel?
Look up Anthony. It's just called Anthony Boronowski skiing footage put out by Ant Boronowski.
There you go.
I'll send you a link, Iberg. I got it.
Yeah.
Some good backcountry clips in here, though. Damn.
There are some hammers in there. Like,
yeah.
People ask me like, what am I proud of in my. I want to watch this thing now. Can we watch it?
Yeah. I actually know how to do this. Hold on, give me a second. We'll get with the audio too.
So I can watch it with you?
Yeah.
That's sick. Let's go.
Share. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Is that working?
Yeah.
What? It is a Nimbus thing.
Have you ever seen this, Eric?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe I have. Let's see, 2010. How angry was I? All right.
You probably like commenting on it.
Probably, dude. I was hardcore. That's right when Inspired started.
Yeah. So I filmed this in like 6 weeks, obviously. I was on a tear right now. Speaking of being angry, Eric, this is max angry, Anthony.
So who filmed all this? Is this Nimbus filming?
No, this is a kid in Whistler named Nick Hickling.
And then what? You said, Pollard, will you edit this and put it out or what?
Will you distribute it? Will you put it in your movie? And I gave him this footage because I was so mad at Armada.
So were you in their movie that year? Hunting Yeti or something?
I was in Nimbus this year.
Okay. Sick.
And I did all this all by myself. Me and a filmer. I went like in the backcountry by myself, built the jumps by myself. I was so fucking pissed at Hans.
Because Nimbus was on such their own level in 2010. They were creating new ways of distribution of movies, right? So, like, they were super special how they were releasing stuff.
This day was funny. I forgot my hat. It's like, I don't have a beanie on in there. And I was like, I got to this spot. I had no hat. I was like, what the fuck?
You cool, Becker.
No, that's at Mount Seymour.
What?
They build a replica. That was a big jump. Holy shit, there's some clips, huh?
Yeah.
How many? That's a cab 3. And then that's a cab 7. I blew my knee on that jump.
And there's like hardly any filler footage in all this.
I know.
Damn.
Anyway, yeah.
Well, that was fun as fuck, huh?
Yeah, you like that? You like that? I had that trick up my
sleeve. Movie preview. Yeah, so that's like the last thing I did. But that's what I'm talking about when like I'm talking about like support and like having support. It's like it's so feasible for so many people. Everyone's so talented. But anyway, where were we at?
Just Armada gets bought. You like still working with them, and
It was joystick transition was the conversation how we got to that. Like
Yeah.
he sold his ownership to them. Joystick and Surface combined. Now, is there a company called Casual or something at this time?
Coswell.
That had already like stopped.
So is that like under this like thing of
that's under their
Surface?
umbrella?
Did you ride for them?
No.
What was your outer? Did you have some weird outerwear company at one time?
Yeah, I did. I got sponsored by Under Armour.
Okay.
Damn, him and you and Amet.
Yeah. That was fine. I needed the money, you know. Whatever.
What year did you sign with them? Were you an original?
In that video that you're watching, I was wearing underwear.
So 2010, you were one of the originals. Like Amet was an original, right? Like, did Scotty Hibbert sign, or were you before Scotty Hibbert?
I think it was Hibbert who signed me. I can't remember.
Because that's what Amet was like, the original, right? And then he was too core after they got Bobby, because Bobby dominated in 2010, and then he took all your money.
Yeah, sure. I could see that. I always knew Under Armour was not like a thing for me. I knew it was like, I didn't even know really why they signed me, but I was just happy to have the money, to be totally honest. But I just wasn't a fit for them. I was like,
well, they were just a random appearance of max money in our sport for 4 years.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Like they didn't have a role before or after. Or
No. Right. Yeah. But it was just like a good glide path for me to just have like a bit more. So anyway, that gave me like a transition out of skiing. So it was like that's how I got out of skiing, is through that moment with like Surface, Under Armour, and then I ended up to get the job at Lululemon, which was dope. So then I did that. Armada recruited me to come back. So when they did that reinvestment for outerwear, I had sort of nothing to do with that. But then I came in to help them, sort of like, because they outerwear was growing and they needed help on that side.
So what did you do with outerwear with Armada? What was your job?
It's like men's design development, essentially just to design the collection and to bring it to life, in short, like in one sentence.
And you were the head guy. So you were like what Mackel is to skis?
Yeah, but come on, it's like a company of like 13 people. Like everyone's the head guy of everything.
Oh, I get it, but it's still a big thing. If you look at the catalog of outerwear from what you
it's fucked up. It's fucked. It's fucked up.
T-shirts, like dude, it's fucking huge.
Mega, yeah. I worked so much, Eric. Like I worked so.
No, I believe you. Like I know how big it was. It's 10 times bigger than Mackel's job.
Yeah, but I learned so much, and I got so much from it, which is something I think, we learn is like it's just like you get out what you put in. You know, it's not about a paycheck or anything. It's like it was really foundational for my life, which was really cool. And I'm hyped that. I had that
once again, you have to have the crew. So you had a vision, but you had people support you to find the creators, the producers, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like that's about having the crew again in life. Because like you had to start your own company here now. How hard is it when you do everything your fucking self compared to be like, hey team, this is my design, make it happen.
Absolutely.
Now you say, hey, Anthony, here's my design. How do I make it
happen? Make it happen. Yeah, exactly. But, So
what are you doing these days?
Yeah. These days? What am I doing? Number one, I'm a dad, which is like really dope. That's the best thing ever. I love it more than anything. Two, I'm running my own company called Foehn, which is we make just like outdoor adventure travel stuff for men. And we started as a rock climbing company. We do run and just sort of stuff like that. And that's it. That's what I do.
Wait, I still want to know, when were you done with skiing? Like, so when you started with Armada, were you no longer a pro skier?
When I stopped with Armada?
When you started with
he left to Lululemon,
right?
Yeah.
So when you
Okay,
went to
so,
Lululemon,
like-
were you retired in your mind?
Oh yeah. The day I blew my knee, like that
Okay,
video
so
we
that
just
was your
watched,
final thing
the
as a pro
day
skier.
the day we so I filmed that video from whatever the titles were on that thing, like February 1st to March 6th. On March 6th, I blew my knee and it was over. Like it
Good.
was over. I knew it was over and I wanted it to be over and I was just like done. So, and that's something I don't know if you guys know who Pat Mack is, but he's like an OG sports marketing guy at Oakley. He told me like the day it's over, make it over and don't look back. And that's something like I followed and I
When did
never
he tell
looked
you? I
back.
love Pat Mack. I just
Yeah.
stayed in touch with him in my life.
Yeah.
But like, when does he tell you this as someone? Because like Ethan, so you know, Pat Mack is. You have Greg Strokes, who was a guy that was in charge of skiing. Pat Mack was his boss. Pat Mack was a special guy that cared about everyone under them at a next level. So he understood cycling. What was the American guy's name in cycling? The guy who won every Tour de France.
Lance.
Lance Armstrong. He was Oakley, right? So you have to understand this guy, Pat Mack, dealt with all these people on Oakley, but yet he still cared about us.
Yeah.
Like he still knows what I was doing in skiing in 2000. So I'm asking you, Anthony, when does Pat Mack, this amazing human, tell you something that's so fucking amazing because that actually makes you do that? Because that's the hardest decision for every skier is to say, when's my last day?
Yeah. I don't know when he told me that. It was just like in conversation. Because Pat Mack was like a pretty high level athlete too. You know that?
Nope.
Like, I don't know what his sport was, but he was like kind of a gangster at whatever he did. But anyway, I can't recall. It was like early in my career that he told me that.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah. So like at that time, I was just done. Like I knew I was done and it was over. So, yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
I got some viewer questions, Iberg.
What's that?
I got some viewer questions. You want to do some viewer questions?
Let me pee and then we'll do it.
All right.
Give me 10 seconds.
This guy, old man Iberg, he's got to pee 4 times an episode.
I know.
I've been like this since I was young.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'll look through some of these. Did you have a chance to read any of these too?
I skimmed them fast. I saw Tej like put some in there.
Yeah, TJ, he did. He asked you about being first AM on Armada, which we talked about. He talked about your brand. What's the name of your brand again? Foehn?
Foehn, yeah. Foehn.
TJ also, he asked, is it easy to sell ski poles?
It was at that time, yeah. Like the older I get, the more I'm like, man, like that was pretty easy.
It was like taking candy from a baby.
Yeah. If I knew how easy it was, I would have probably tried to do more with that. I don't know. At the time, there was like grenade and stuff. There was so much energy like in this space, kind of, you know?
Yeah.
But
he also asked you snowboard inspo in the Whistler backcountry.
yes.
So
what about it?
I don't even know. Is he asking?
What's your snowboarding inspiration in the Whistler backcountry? Because I mean, dude, you had the Mac Dog step down, not the like, dude. You know that bowl that like everyone does the step down in. I think you have shit. Douglas had shit. Like everyone was like, dude, your backcountry is like snowboard. Like I could watch every snowboard movie in '98 to 2000, and then just watch you guys do that shit for the next 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Of course. I mean, those guys were doing so much too in terms of like exploration and searching. I mean, there's like the obvious answers, like Devin is like number one, you know, in terms of like inspiration for riding the backcountry. That's hands down the dude. And then Lucas Huffman is another guy who I always loved. But in terms of like inspiration, there's a kid named Jason Brown who started a brand called Capita, who gets, speaking of getting written out of histories, he started Capita, and like you won't hear about that anywhere. And he's like a total inspiration for me in my life to this day. So
That's
I
dope.
find him great. Yeah.
I got a question about the video we just watched, Willie's World Television.
Yeah.
He said your last video part that you ever dropped, you did a proper backcountry fakie 540 and fakie 900 both ways. So he's asking, what inspired that? And he said, and do you think you get the credit you deserve as you are one of the best to ever do it? So he's giving you a little props as well.
Oh, wow. That's really flattering. I mean, I'm not one of the best to ever do it by far. There's so many amazing athletes who really did it. And when I see other people, it's flattering. I really appreciate it. But the Cab 5 and the Cab 9s, like the back-to-backs, I think that was in Happy Days or something.
Interesting.
Yeah, but that's in another video part.
Okay, yeah.
But I just always wanted to spin like all the ways and all both ways. That was like always, it was like table cars for me. Like you had to do it both ways. And that was something like I really believed in.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a lot of people at that time period that thought that, right? Okay. And
No,
you're a younger person thinking like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I wanted to do it like both like forward and backward and in the backcountry. So it was like there were not as many people like sort of doing this at the time.
Sick. Another question about Happy Days, actually. Street Skier 95. He says your street clips in Happy Days are ahead of its time. Did it feel like you were really pushing it back then? And how was the segment received?
No one really cared about that Happy Day segment. Not that much. So I guess it was not received that well. There's clips. Yeah, there were some heavy clips in there for sure. I think there was. I'm trying to remember, but the only clip I can remember is there was like a down flat down on the side of this like it was like on a wall, and it was like 25 feet like at the beginning into the first kink. So that was pretty heavy. There was some.
Was
heavy
that the
stuff.
library in Chamonix?
No, that's similar. Because the library in Chamonix was for 1242.
Okay.
Is 1242 when we went off the roof onto the rail as well?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Like that shot was so fucking nuts, dude. The roof onto the rail, man. If you guys like anyone that watches this, like it's
so crazy.
Up. I would love to see
crazy story. Crazy story. We're like driving with O'Connell, and we're driving by that roof with the rail, and kind of as a joke, O'Connell's like, "Yo, you think you guys could like ski down the roof and off the roof and onto the rail?" And like kind of half joking, like fucked up photographer joke, you know? And I remember me and Pep were like, I think we can do it. And so we like got out of the car and like did it. And it was one of those things I think that, you know, when you're like a filmer, you kind of don't want to watch in a way. There was like kind of that vibe going on where it was,
I
like,
remember I heard a story that O'Connell went into a place and had to steal a carpet out to put it on the roof in order to put snow on it.
That's true. That's true. We did. We went and stole a carpet, and then we screwed the carpet onto the roof, which probably destroyed that poor roof. But yeah, that's completely true. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but yeah, I think the stuff in Happy Days was a bit heavier than the stuff I did in 1242. But again, it was just like opportunity and that kind of thing.
So you know, Anthony, do you know who Street Skier 95 is?
No.
Okay, so he's a Quebecer, and this kid loves history. Yo, he makes videos on YouTube of like spots around Quebec that everyone's hit over the history of life, and then so you can go watch different spots for the last 30 years. So the guy who made that comment is a connoisseur of the sport of rail riding. Big up Street Skier 95.
Yeah,
I love his videos. His videos are really, really good.
That's great. Okay, cool. Awesome.
Let's see. We'll ask my friend Barkley's question while I'm looking for the other ones. Who's your favorite skier?
My favorite skier? Probably Pollard. I love it. I love everything he's about. I think just my respect for him as a man too, as a human. He's hard to watch Pollard without like seeing everything, but I think he's definitely probably my favorite. I think so.
He
Or,
also had-
Or Julian.
He also
Or
asked you what's
Julian.
your favorite backcountry session.
Favorite backcountry session?
Yeah.
There was one in 12. We filmed it for 1242, and at the time we were like going crazy. It was like the energy was like frenetic, and we tried this like huge gap over this gully, and no one ever landed. But it was essentially like me and Pep and Boyd, and it would have been like earth shattering in terms of like just like no one could put it down, but it was just like that has always stayed in my mind.
Who filmed that?
There's like a Johnny, you know 1242, there's like a one of Pep where he has like a huge black eye, his face is all fucked up. That's from that, because he kind of put it down but didn't put it down, and he hit his face on his knees. That's from that day. Or the other favorite session is there's like a 720 I do off I think it's in 10. It's like the last shot in 10 that I do. It's like a left 7. That's probably my favorite session as well. But those two are quite memorable for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. This one I was interested in. Junk Dog 89. Do you think you were the first emo skier?
And so, Anthony, I clarify you as a guy who like came in as hesher, and then you created the emo style because we didn't have emo. And once you fucking put on some glasses and fucking had the hair droop over one eye, you were emo. But I'm curious.
Yeah.
Too.
You must have been, right?
I don't know. I guess so.
There's no way there were emo. Were there emo ballet skiers back in the day?
Nah, dude, they were just kind of gay. I mean, whatever. I mean, in 2024. Sorry.
Here's another hesher question, because you really are the first hesher. Holden Baldassi, what's your favorite brand of cigs?
I haven't smoked for so long. I'm so stoked about that. I'm so stoked. The Moria, I guess. It's what we used to smoke all the time.
$25 a pack in Quebec today.
Yeah, I'm sure, man. I'm sure.
It is kind of funny that, like, in terms of styles, like we talked to so many people, and they point to Mikkel as his inspiration, and then he points to Trevor Andrew as his inspiration. Yeah. But like a lot of the heshers can really draw their roots, like Max Hill. Probably we haven't talked to him yet, but like he probably got the hesh inspiration from Max? You. We haven't talked to him yet, but I'd be down to talk to him at some point. Yeah. But, anyone that's hesh, like you were the first to do it. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, I don't know. Perhaps. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll wrap.
I got one. Julian wants to know, at what age did you realize you needed glasses?
Oh my God, I was old. You guys don't know that. That's a funny story. I had double vision for like a long period of my professional skiing career. So I would see like duplicates of objects and my life. So I went to renew my driver's license, and there's a test you have to do to check your vision. And yeah, so I understood that I was seeing double like for probably half my ski career.
Damn.
And I know how to do like pretty big surgery to correct my eyes, which was insane.
That's crazy. Actually, totally always, as a judgmental outsider fan, I thought when you became emo, you put on some clear glasses like a chick, and then you grew the hair over it because you like the oversized wire rim glasses for style. And I just judged you. So when Julian asked me that question, I was like, yo, I just want to know if he really ever had to even wear glasses. But
no. So for a while, I even had to like have this like weird thing on my glasses, like before I could have the surgery, to like reflect the light like in a right way, so I wouldn't have double vision. It was horrible. It was like horrible. Yeah, it sucked. Yeah.
I'm happy there's a real story other than Julian just trying to make fun of like what I was trying to make fun of you with. I'm happy you were able to correct it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There you go.
So the last two just relate to Joystick and Surface. This one, the Surface, this from Guac Socks. The Surface graphics you did were unbelievable. Any plans of trying to get your art back on a pair of skis?
Oh, I would love to just for fun, but I don't know. I'm not motivated that much. But yeah, those graphics were good. They came out really well. I'm really proud of those.
Which skis were these for?
It's right when I started with Surface, like right away they gave me a pro model, like 2 pro models, I think, and I just
Wait,
did
you
like
have a pro model Surface ski? God damn it!
Yeah, I think I had like
that's not on my list.
I probably had like 4 iBerg, I think. But anyway, I like right away we made graphics and we had it like out in like months. I was so stoked about that. But
iBerg's putting together an online ski museum, and he's
I have
gathering all the pro skis.
freeskimuseum.com that I have a page that has every pro model ski ever made, and I have every single ski. It's over like 1,200 of all sizes and design, and I don't have your fucking Surface skis.
Look, you almost left him out again. Come on.
I know, dude. You just getting forgotten.
Yeah.
Not if we're gonna fight.
Yeah, those are cool. They were really fun. But yeah, I don't know. I would love to do something again. I would actually like to be more involved in the ski industry, but I don't know how. Maybe I'll start out.
This is a good first step.
Hey, Anthony. Phil Bellinger is within 20 minutes of you. I guarantee you right now.
Oh, but I see Phil. I see Phil all the time.
So I'm just saying, you have the icon, the legend, the guy who creates as much shit as I do every day since day one. And if you really want to be involved, you like, dude, you got the biggest tour in our fucking world that he's been putting on for 12 years. You got like everything. He's God, dude. You live beside God of twin tip skiing. So I'm telling you right now, if you really want to do anything, man, call him up when we hang up. Say, yo, I want to do something. He'll go, what? How do we do it? So I'm not allowing that comment to happen. Your neighbor is right there. He's your neighbor.
Yeah. That's true. You're right.
You can do it, and people
and
I know what your kid does involve. So you have reasons to get involved, and then have a reason why it's kind of cool and important. So it's all on you, buddy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's really all I got.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah, I mean the last one was about Joystick, about Jason Aaron's taking over Joystick, but Joystick was out of your hands ever since Surface took it over, correct? So you weren't involved in the most recent transition with Surface, yeah. No,
not really. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. It's cool though. I'm glad it keeps its spirit. Like it feels aligned, you know.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
It still has the same hesher spirit, man. Like when you look at how they release a pro model and stuff, like it has the vibe of the Surface, of Joystick, you know, and even what he did with the goggles with Joystick and having Phil Casabon on it a couple of years ago. Like you just get that like, oh, I care about the sport more than I care about making my company big.
Yeah.
They still have that shit.
I enjoy what they're doing. I think it's quite nice. It's cool.
So
yeah.
Well, what do you think, Anthony? Did we miss anything? Is super big in your ski world?
The ski life?
Yeah.
No. I don't. No, I think that's it, man. I think we did it all.
Like you create your own way, and now like you're still trying to create it in a new element. And you know, I just want to make sure you get your flowers at the same time. People understand, like, do your own thing. The biggest thing the youth can learn is there's no such thing as instant gratification. You know, like you gotta realize, you know, like that's the hardest part about any kid that's growing up now, where it's like, man, you can learn the story of your life from 15 to 20 and there's nothing. There's no recognition from certain elements you create. So there's no reason to feel bad about yourself, kids. Just fucking take every opportunity and do the best you can.
But you don't think they did that? I think they worked their ass off, these kids. I enjoy
Well, I think
it.
the idea
I
is
think,
like the instant gratification, right? I don't know how many people are willing to go 4 years with nothing in return. Like I can't like work with a lot of youth now that are just willing to show up for the idea of to create something. So I don't know. I'm not jaded on them. I don't work with enough of them, but I just know that people think everything that you have, even me, I made up what I thought you had in life because I didn't know you. So I just think every person who listens in life needs to understand, like, there's not always a return. The return is satisfaction of self fucking, I did that. No one else can do it. That's the only reason you are who you are is because you did shit no one else can do. It's not because of a paycheck. And it's not because you're in a big house. And so that's the only thing I think is very important for the youth to hear is when you create and you do something in life, it's not about, will I make money? It's not about, will I live? It's about like, wow, can I try this? No one else has. This is fun as fuck. I have a great crew. So that's why I want to talk with old people, because you didn't create your own lane by thinking I should be special or make it. You did it because it was fun. You had people give you opportunity and experiences, and you wanted to make the most out of every opportunity. So I think the biggest downfall with the youth nowadays is like, oh man, well, they're not giving it to me. Why don't I get a big contract like Tanner? Why isn't it like this? So what I'm trying to teach everyone is go create something. Your wealth is off what you created today. It's not about what's in your bank account. So
I don't know. I see the kids though. I think they make a lot of stuff and they really do push stuff forward. I think it's just really hard right now everything is really homogenous and then it's really like disparate where it's like spread out. And it's like, I think that kids are like really hustling to
I agree with you. So you have companies like Jib Skin, who I bring up a shitload on this thing. I'll watch kids start a pant company that move 1,000 units.
Yeah.
Now imagine an 18-year-old selling 1,000 units of pants that he sells for $150 that he only spends $38 for.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of fucking money. And so I know at least a handful of kids under 18 that are making $50,000 to $80,000 off a brand you never heard of in our sport. So, but once again, we don't have a magazine to talk about them. And that's the difference. Like where we grew up, if you created Joystick, Freeze was writing an article. Anthony Boronowski starts Joystick, and then all of a sudden you feel part of a culture. We have so much stuff right now where kids are creating shit. And I don't want to talk down upon them because I know a lot of them personally that are the shit and doing it. But we just don't have any way to celebrate them anymore. Where like, and that's what's kind of a bummer in our sport. So
I don't know. I think it's really interesting what a lot of the kids are doing, and I actually find it kind of inspiring often. But I think that like kids are like really willing to make a risk and really push the chips in, which
here's where kids win, Anthony. Kids are thinking they sell 200 units or 500 units. They're financially successful and can support themselves. When you're an adult and you think of a business, you're thinking about how you scale and make it bigger. And when you make something bigger than the niche that you're in, because we're the smallest niche of a niche of a niche of the richest sport in the goddamn world, you're retarded. So greed, I've watched for 27 years be the killer of every company that I love. And so when I'm watching self-sufficient 18-year-olds make a salary bigger than my parents, I'm like, yo, man, that's all what if our whole industry just didn't deal with greed and scaling? Because you could have because even like I cannot imagine making a clothing company that 10,000 kids would want the same style. But I can imagine myself creating 50s hoodies, sweatshirts for $200 that only 50 kids worldwide could have. And then as long as I don't scale and become fucking greedy, I don't know, it's interesting. I'm trying to evaluate why we failed. And I think the reason why is we thought we were bigger than we are, and we tried to scale up. And then as soon as we scaled up outside of Twin Tips, that wasn't our culture. The people in the country clubs don't want to relate to us.
Yeah.
So that's just my thought, Anthony. I wanted to bring it up because when you dominated a niche, and that's why I bring up that thing where I'm like, wow, you dominated a niche. That was good enough. But Joystick can't go to the racer or to the fucking mainstream person. It's just illest fucking Twin Tips. That's good enough.
Yeah. Sure. No, I mean, skiing is a bit conflicted as an industry, right? Because we're so divided, it's so fractured, and you have other market forces that are creating the industry in the lane and the direction that they want the industry to be in. And as a result, like, Twin Tips is always counter to what is happening, So we're just a microcosm and a small counterculture to, like, you're not gonna win against Vail. I'm sorry, but it's just what it is, And I love skiing as much as the next guy, but it's like, it's just what it is. It's so sad.
No.
And I don't know. It's just the industry has changed. It's just like a thing where it's not. I often say, like, skiing's not for me anymore. Like, I'm getting phased out, and people like me are getting phased out of skiing because I'm not rich enough. And it's, like, brutal to say it, but it's just an economic thing these days, and I find it very sad. But
I only can be in it to talk on a microphone for free with you, and then drill skis for my kid himself, and find a hill when it snows and push him down it, and say, "Do you want to climb that hill?" In Minnesota. I don't bring them to ski hills, So like, I get it, but it's just super fun to know that we got to end up in one of two only luxury sports in the world, yachting and snow skiing, and then we got to make a difference in it, and then we don't even understand we're part of it. How did we get there, man? That's ill. We went to Aspen every year. What?
Yeah, right.
Fuck you, poor people.
Yeah.
We call you brokies, man. I don't hang out with brokies.
All right, let's bring it home. Right. Anthony, thank you for your time. I really appreciate you coming on. It was awesome to get another piece of the puzzle, to hear and share your story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thoughts? Final part.
That's just sick, man. Thank you, Anthony. Like, I think that your story is important. I think you played a huge role in our sport. I think even if we're not wanted to be remembered, or if no one knows what we did, it doesn't fucking matter, because it wouldn't be what it is today without people that do awesome shit like you. So thank you for your time, man. I hope people can appreciate your story and understand, just be yourself, man, and know life is hard, and fucking just keep creating.
Yeah, exactly.
So thank you, man. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Of course. It's a pleasure. I'm very happy to be here. Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Take care.
We'll let you go. See you.
So, what are your thoughts, meeting an old person?
He's awesome.
It's true.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good conversation with him. He's a good guy. And I hope he gets his props, because because the truth is important, and he was around and he was involved. And for him to get written off would be a damn shame, because he's important to the sport. And let's not forget him.
No, that's why I give thanks for this podcast, man. That's why we do it. Because, I mean, honestly, he will be forgotten. There's no way Armada's rewriting him in there. There's no way Joystick is going to spend out of time doing a page saying about us. That's why we have this podcast, is to give him his love, flowers, and tell his stories. And now hopefully it's there for as long as the internet is, if you want to know the truth. But that's how life works. There's lots of awesome dudes that did lots of awesome shit that you never fucking heard of. So hopefully this podcast can help a little bit.
Yep. All right. We don't know who's next, but thanks for listening, everyone.
Hell yeah. Till the next time.
Yep. See ya.
Peace.
Peace.